lost it. Oh, here it is. Jumper the Great. Ooh, there we go. We're good.
Now recording. Hi.
Who was
Hey,
that?
That was Craig.
that's Craig. Craig is here.
Craig talks now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Huh.
he always had. I don't know. Maybe it's just been a while.
Also,
Well,
and who's Fred?
don't worry about it.
Yeah, so yeah, leave Fred alone. Fred didn't do
Who's
anything.
mystery?
All right.
Who's mystery?
Now,
You really
who's
met
Mystery?
you. You
And
really
who's
missed the
Fred?
chance to call it episode 91. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Mystery
yeah,
guest.
leave Fred alone.
But just
Fred didn't
spell
do
it
anything.
mystery.
We can still change that right now.
All right, what do you want me to change it to?
No, it's too late now.
No, I can change it. What do you want me to change it to?
Yeah, but then I'd have to refresh it to see it.
I can change it. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to fix
You could have put with mystery guest, but you just keep it
Oh,
spelled mystery.
That's okay. Missed opportunities missed.
It's okay. I'm going to fix it anyway because I have a capital I in there because fat fingers, I guess.
Where? Oh, Millstry guest.
Milstry. I like that. We're going to change it. We're going to change it, whether y'all like it or not. With mystery guest.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. And then we can just call the episode Mystery Guest.
Yeah, love it.
Ah, there you go.
All right. Well,
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Focus here. Everyone's here. Alrighty. And Craig's already gone. See what we need to do before we start talking is make sure Craig's ready to go. We jump into it so fast.
Yeah, I also kind of figure out why my why the audio or not the audio, why the chat isn't coming up in the stream.
Oh, because you probably didn't put it in right.
You're probably not wrong.
I don't know. I
Sometimes
don't
you
remember.
might need
I don't
it
remember how to do
authorize
it.
or whatever.
Hang on, let me go back and double check it.
Yeah, it's on. I can't remember.
I have a feeling it's in the text settings. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
You have to do it on Streamlabs, but then I think you also have to do it on OBS.
Yeah.
And you have to add the link that Streamlabs gives you or whatever.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay. Well, we'll see if that fixes the issue. I wonder if I had it set as the wrong color.
What color?
Yeah.
What color?
That's what I'm saying.
I have to refresh. I guess that wouldn't matter if the video
Yeah, the video should
comes
refresh.
through.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go.
Did it work?
I don't know.
What's that thing say back there? DDY. Hat Diddy.
All right. Well, you know what? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's a future us problem.
Yep. Future you problem.
Well,
No, he said future us.
yeah, it's a group effort.
He didn't
So-
say
If
future
me-
him.
If Mystery wants to help you, that's fine.
It's probably what
Yeah,
I'll do.
certainly.
I'm gonna have to.
Sure,
I'll,
I
go
can help
to
out with something.
I'll have to go to mystery. There's no doubt there. Football update. Bengals fumbled and the Ravens recovered. I haven't even been following any football whatsoever this weekend. I mean, I feel like I should be, but I'm just kind of not.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I haven't cared about football for a minute. All right. Craig is ready. Fred is ready.
yeah.
Everybody's ready, Freddy.
Also,
Ready, you're ready, you're ready. Get your butter to tether your brother. I don't know.
Butter to tether the brother. Oh dear.
well, as everyone can tell, we have a mystery guest. I like that. mystery
Lemon,
guest.
lion, lemon, lion. What are the fucking thing that the people say to warm up? Lemon, lion. You know what I'm talking about?
No clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a vocal thing that actors and actresses warm up their voice. Lemon, lion. The lemon lion.
I feel like we should have done that before we got started.
You hit the record
a-
button and then immediately start doing like the actual those tongue
Lemon,
twisters or whatever.
lion. Should I ask
I actually kinda
Google
wanna
or
Google
should
this
I
now.
ask Chad?
You should always ask Chad. We're no longer a Google group. So how you been, Mystery?
I've been exhausted. How are
Yeah.
you guys doing?
Doing all right. I figure your holiday was filled with lots and lots and lots of overtime.
Oh my god, yeah.
Really?
A lot of work.
That sucks.
Lots and lots of work. Lots of breaking things in the theater. Avatar 2 and its 3D glasses shenanigans. You know, same old, different day.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think they.
I mean, yeah, it kept me busy. I mean, like the last 2 weeks definitely have felt like a little bit of an eternity for me. Unfortunately, I feel like for some folks it's gone by pretty fast, right?
Yeah. Well, I've reached the point now. Like now that you're a parent and you don't get to enjoy the holidays as much as like you did when you were a kid. Like everything just flies by. Like I can't even believe it's like the middle of January now because we haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do a whole lot for the holidays because we just don't do a lot for the holidays, and then we pretty much did absolutely nothing for New Year's. We, I think Isabel played in her room. Heather watched or played on her phone, and I watched TV until like the 30 seconds before the ball dropped, and we were like, "Oh yay!" And then we all went to bed.
Yeah.
That was it.
I don't know what it was about this year. I just didn't even care to say goodbye to 2022.
Well,
Just didn't
I'm
even
glad.
bother.
I'm glad to get it behind us. Ready to like. We're kind of coming into a post-COVID world where I mean I can't speak for Canada, but I can say here here in this country we don't care. We give zero shits about COVID now, like none. If people get sick, they get sick. We just keep on going. Um,
Right. If I recall, you guys over there in the States, you guys ended up like doing the lockdown for like 2 weeks and then that's it. Like you went back to normal. Right? Or no?
No, I mean it varied from state to state. Some places stayed closed for a few weeks. We stayed closed, or my office, our shop closed for. Well, I mean, closed isn't really the best way of putting it. We were on like limited office hours for about maybe 6 weeks. Um, I worked. I worked Monday and Wednesday, and then my other guy worked Tuesday and Thursday, and then my dad worked on Fridays, and that was pretty much it. And we had nothing going on. I mean, the majority of our customers are like restaurants and service-based companies,
Right.
so
Okay.
they were closed. So
Right. Of
we
course.
were we were open just to make sure if something happened, we were there, but
Right.
we didn't do anything. The most that we did that was productive is we got some of the government money, and that let us. We bought some floor tiles, some real nice heavy duty plastic floor tiles that you put down in your shop to help with like uh, back support and stuff when you're standing, and just made it look nice. That was kind of it. We spent like 3 days putting that stuff down, and we did nothing for like 6 weeks.
Ah.
Swept the shop for 3 days.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it was one of those things where like we have so much crap in our shop. It was like we moved everything from one side to the other, and then did that side, and then moved everything back, and then did the other side. But I mean, it looks good. It was colored tiles, and it's gray. It's the base is gray, and then we got yellow tiles that attach. That kind of went around the shop area. It was like, okay, this is the work area. If you're not an employee, you can't cross beyond the yellow line. And and then the tiles were actually really really cool. They were initially designed to go in like automotive garages and whatnot, to make the floors like a showroom type floor. But it was pretty cool because it had each tile had like 30,000 pounds of like weight capacity, and
Per tile?
yeah, per tile. It was some really neat stuff. And then it all snaps together. And then to like, if you break a tile or a tile messes up, you just take a flat screwdriver and just pop the tile out and snap another one in. It was pretty neat.
Sounds expensive.
It was.
Yeah.
But I mean, they gave us I can't remember how much they gave us. They gave us somewhere in the neighborhood of it's like $25,000 or $30,000 for our office for the payroll protection money,
Oh, there you
and
go.
you know, I filled out. I can't tell you how many forms and crap. I mean, it was tons and tons of paperwork, but I managed to basically get us the maximum amount that was allotted for a business of our size, and it didn't even go by. What got me is it didn't even go by how many people you have on payroll. It went by how much your company made in the previous year. So it's like you could have had 50 employees and did barely any money, and you wouldn't get shit.
You get barely any money.
Yeah,
Well,
or
how's that a payroll thing?
I have no clue.
Interesting.
You know, and then then I had to file a bunch more paperwork to get it forgiven because we had to prove I had to like file all this paperwork and all the receipts and stuff showing what I spent all the money on. I had to spend it in
Yeah.
a certain amount of time, so it was like, yeah, we spent all of it on a floor, and that was it. So, and then we paid ourselves. I mean, yeah, I paid Dad and our other guy a full 40 hours, even though we were basically working like 16 hours a week, and that was
You basically got the military grade version of those old. You remember those old kid floors, the foam that like
Yeah.
interlock together?
that's exactly it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
like
exactly
the
what they are.
military grade
Yeah.
version of that.
That's exactly what it is. And they're made out of this like high end plastic, and it's supposed to be waterproof and all that. And it's now been there for 2 years, and we haven't had to replace any tiles. It's been quite nice, but yeah,
Sounds nice.
yeah,
Wow, 2 years. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess the pandemic's been going for about 2-3 years now. Jeez.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Here in the States, we're done. We don't care anymore. I mean, on a
Oh,
micro,
COVID.
yeah, oh yeah, on a micro level, we seem to care, but just on like the grand scale of this country, it's not even a thought anymore. I remember, back through the early days, like every news station, every television station, websites, they had like the COVID trackers and all
Right.
that.
Yep.
Gone. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We're right back to making fun of people wearing masks.
Yep. Yeah, I say the only place here in my area that still requires you to wear a mask is the hospitals. That's it. Yeah, everywhere else is like it doesn't even matter.
It's optional.
Yeah, our governor put out a thing saying masks should now be considered optional and stuff like that. So I had to change like all of our signs that we have on the doors. It was like, if you have a fever, don't come in. Now it's like, whatever.
Yeah, that was the government's answer. It was like a bad episode of Dora. They put up signs that said, "If you have a fever, put on a mask." And then they were like, "We did it! We did it! We did it!"
Yeah, I can just imagine. Remember the George Bush image when right after during the Iraq War, where he flew out to the aircraft carrier and gave the big speech, and there was the banner across the back that said "Mission Accomplished," and
Yeah.
and then the Iraq War went on for another 10 years.
We got it. Good job.
Oh my lord.
Attaboy. Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's the U.S. government for you.
yep.
Little do you know, there was
Oh.
a smaller one underneath that one banner that said "Nailed it, first try."
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And they made such a big deal out of it because George Bush was a pilot when he was in the Texas Air National Guard. So like whatever
Yeah, something like that.
whatever aircraft he flew back then, they gave him one and he flew it from wherever they were to the aircraft carrier, and he landed on the aircraft carrier. And I mean, it was a big deal. And I mean, I'm not a fan of George Bush at all, but I'll give him credit. Landing an aircraft on an aircraft carrier, that's a badass ability. So
Yeah.
like I'll give you that.
Wasn't he like 68 at the time too, or something?
Fuck, probably. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Too old.
Every one of our presidents is too old.
Yeah, they're all too old. The only one that
Was
was
it-
halfway close was Obama, but that was it.
What is it?
Yeah.
With age comes wisdom.
That's what they
Right.
keep telling us. But I tell you right
The
now.
wisdom that they want, where they make America great again and racism still exists. That's why they enjoy old people in politics.
Well, I watched the Speaker of the House election, and I did the stream and all that, and it just really blows my mind the number of politicians that we have in our government. I wouldn't trust them to drive. Like, I don't think they should have a driver's license, and they're running our government.
If I walked down the aisle to get milk and I saw them there, I'd be worried. I'd leave the
Yeah.
store.
Well, these are. I mean, they're the type of people that it's like I'm going to open the door for them and help them across the street. You know, it's like if I see that.
Thank you, young lad.
Yeah, like that's what I see. Like I don't see them as like the politician age. I see them as these like ancient geriatrics
Yeah.
that I can't believe they were up at what 1, 2 o'clock in the morning trying to vote. Like I can't believe they were up that late. Like I was impressed.
Mm.
But
Yeah. What's the opposite of Ambien for old people?
Adderall.
I don't know if they can take Adderall. Can they?
Trump does.
Well, he's on a lot of stuff.
Like that was the whole thing. Is like it was kind of like one of those like worst kept secrets. Is that Trump took Adderall?
Trump
all
takes
the time.
Adderall?
Yeah, it was like everybody knew it, and nobody seemed to care. So, anyway, so what are we going
That
to talk
wasn't
about?
one
Anyway,
of his like
I don't
announcements
know.
or anything.
Welcome
right?
to the Politically Incorrect Gaming Podcast. Should we play the intro song?
Fuck it all. Yeah, I think we probably should play the intro song since we
All
actually
right,
know where to do it.
I know Phil wants to hear it, so fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Oh no, we won't do it live because I spelled it wrong. There we go. Every day. Run it. All right. Welcome to the game, the Politically Incorrect Gaming Podcast, episode 91. If you're wondering what happened to last week's episode, well, you should have came to the live show.
That's my fault. I will. I'll upload the video from last week to I guess Google Drive.
We'll see
or
if we
whatever.
we'll save that for that'll be a Christmas special episode next year. We'll upload the audio version from last week. You can hear it and hear the great moment when we realized we weren't recording in the middle of it.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Everyone in chat made fun of us.
That's nothing new. So we have the specialist of special guests with us. We have been trying to coordinate a episode with Real Mystery for what 10 years? However long,
10 years.
however long we've been doing
Oh my
the show.
God. I think time moves differently up there in Canada.
It does. It's definitely slower over here.
Yeah.
Let's
Of
see.
10 years Canadian time.
It's like the sun, right? Like it's just we're tilted a little weird, so like it takes
Yeah.
a little while for the sun to reach us.
It has been about 10 years, hasn't it? When did we start?
10.
Because I know that the first episode.
14?
Yeah, it was 13 or 14 because I know the first episode that I did was when Mystery and I did the PGCR episode, and I know
Man,
that
was a long time ago.
I know that was 2011 or 2010.
Oh wow, with you, me, Zanny, and Rob. Yeah, Rob
Yeah.
was in the background though. We had someone else too with us.
I don't know.
Was it Gunfighter? No, it wasn't Gunfighter. It was somebody. I can't even remember. I feel bad now.
We've
Anyway,
definitely
So long
done.
ago.
We definitely did a Drunken Halo episode together. But that had to have been a while ago, too.
Yeah, Drunken Halo has been gone for about what 4 or 5 years now. So
Rip.
I don't know. A long time. I can't even look up their old episodes, so I wouldn't know.
I'm trying to look for the chat that we were all in.
It's too bad JT Podcast went away. It was a good site for a minute.
Nope. I was gonna say I was looking for the chat that we had that was me, you, Zanny, Rob, and all of them.
Well, it looks like Justin must run their Twitter page, though. There's a
The
good image on
Drunken
there.
Halo Twitter page?
Yeah, there's a good image on there from about a year ago.
Oh really?
It looks like a medical. It looks like a medical image that you'd see like in a doctor's office, of fingers inside of a lady, And it says, "Did you
What?
know if you press the clitoris and the G spot at the same time, the vagina takes a screenshot and saves you in her memories forever?" So that's pretty cool.
That what? That was posted on the Drunken Halo Twitter.
But-
Yeah, that's from last year,
But wait, there's more. There's more.
January 5th, 2022.
Oh my god!
I want to follow that up
no.
with February 2nd, 2022. Have you ever been accused of cock blocking after just being yourself? Sorry, man. Didn't realize your plan for the night didn't include 0 dudes at a bar during bad weather.
What?
It was totally my fault for being too interesting and encouraging. I don't know what came over me.
Yeah. I think Justin was logged into the wrong Twitter account on his phone.
Oh man.
Did you see that happened back during the 2016 election, where one of the pro-Trump politicians made a tweet that said, I can't believe that the Democrats are doing this way. As a young black man, I take issue with this or something. And there was like an old white dude that that tweeted it because he was logged into the wrong account.
Yeah, I know it's definitely happened. I didn't see that one.
So yeah, there you go. So what's our topic? What are we going to talk about? We had no preparation whatsoever.
No, we
Right.
never do. I thought about opening with my cream of the week, but I almost want to change my cream of the week.
I will say that I did watch the menu this weekend.
Yeah, maybe we'll start there. Okay, you watched the menu. So
Oh, okay.
you knew nothing about it.
Nothing. The only thing I knew about it was what little bit you had talked about, and then I told Heather that we needed to watch it, and that was it. So
Yeah.
we had like a lot of time yesterday evening. We were just like, you know what? We have nothing going on. We have tons of other responsibilities we need to do, but screw it. Let's just watch movies all day.
Yeah.
So
You watched a couple last night.
yeah,
I think.
we watched a few, and
Yeah.
so we started with the menu, and I didn't know anything about
What do
it.
you think?
And well, I will say that I saw whatever the thumbnail that pops up on, is it Netflix? Is that what it was on?
Which one?
I don't remember.
The menu,
Hulu? No,
HBO Max.
it's got to be on that.
All right.
It's got, yeah, HBO Max, I think.
So I knew that it had the chick from Queen's Gambit. I knew that.
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, Jesus. And then the dude that played Heather was like, "Oh, he played Voldemort." And I was like, "No, he was the weird dude in one of the Hannibal movies."
Ray Fiennes.
Oh, Ralph Fiennes is
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, no, the main chef was the one that played Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
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 And then you had the person who played the Beast in the newer X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Nick
the
Fury
cast
or-
They had a star-studded cast.
Yeah, they
I
had
never
a
had a
solid
problem with the
cast.
cast. The cast was not the problem.
What was your problem with it then?
The writing.
Join the stream.
the cast and the acting was really good.
I mean, it was. There's Lady Q.
I'm waving too.
Hey there.
They say hi. Yeah.
They had the same problem as the worst movie I've ever seen.
What was
It
the
had the same problem as that. The worst movie I've ever seen is Bad Batch, which has nothing to do with Star Wars. Already, they're off to a bad start. They tried to name it
Immediately, I thought
after
it was
Star Wars.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I swear we've talked about it before, but let me tell you the star-studded cast that's in this thing. You think there's a star-studded cast in the menu. Okay, in the Bad Batch, okay, Jason Momoa, star. People are going to go see it. Keanu Reeves,
What?
star. You got a movie with them two together? Jim Carrey. What the fuck? You got a movie with Jason Momoa, Keanu Reeves, and Jim Carrey?
What? Is
Giovanni Ribisi.
I have never heard of this. It
Yeah.
came out in 2016.
What's the other dude? The other dude from he's from Star Wars. He's also in it. What's his name? What's his nuts? Fuck.
Hang on.
He's in it too. Diego Luna. Diego Luna from like Rogue One and Andor is in that movie too. Literally the most star-studded fucking cast you could get all in the same movie together. Like that's like up there with when they're throwing together the Expendables and they're like, how many of the fucking how many stars can we throw at this fucking thing? And it's literally one of the worst movies. You know how I can tell you one thing and you go, oh, it does sound bad. Okay, so they got Jim Carrey in it. He doesn't have a single line in the movie. All he does is like grunts and like points and draws pictures on a little notebook. Why the fuck did you get Jim Carrey and you don't want to use his acting abilities?
It has 2.5 stars on Google.
It shouldn't even have that many. It has 5 out of 10 on IMDb. It's the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. It was so bad. There's memorabilia for Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves runs like a little. I'm trying to think how you would say it. He runs like a ladies' mansion. Like he's the only guy there, and there's all these ladies that live with him, and they're all pregnant, and he got them all pregnant. And so his name in the movie is The Dream, and all the ladies in his little mansion that are all pregnant and rocking guns, by the way, all of them are wearing a shirt that says "The Dream is inside me," and you can buy those shirts on Amazon.
So,
Oh,
The
wow.
the Dream is inside me shirts.
so according to Missy Dimples, who gave it 1 star, it was the first 1 star I came across in the reviews. She says, "Quote: Wow, I mean, other than Momoa is gorgeous to look at, wow. This movie is great for a person who is captured and the people are trying to make them talk. It's straight torture. No backstory, no plot, no dialogue, no importance of any kind. Writers who smoked a lot of crack and jumped from one trippy, gory, delusional dream to a complete, unexplainable jump to the next delusion. The baseline could have been an interesting storyline, but alas, everything else about this movie was a waste of 2 hours I will never, ever get back. Good movie for mystery space science theater, but bad movies that just need to be made fun of."
Yeah, the only good thing I can say came out of it is it's been a talking point when I mention it to people. They'd be like, "I've never heard of that movie." I'm like, "I know." I say Bad Batch, you think Star Wars, but no, there's a movie that Jason Momoa, Jim Carrey, and Diego Luna and fucking Keanu Reeves are in together, and everyone's never heard of it because it's the worst fucking movie. It's on Netflix, by the way, if you want to watch it.
Oh, now I'm going to.
The writing is awful. Like, that's the problem. That was the problem I had with the menu. The acting was never the problem. The same thing in Bad Batch. All the acting is pretty good. The scenes and like nothing is cohesive and like
Well,
the, I think it annoyed me for the first like 20 minutes because it's all about them being pompous and whatnot, and like I just didn't care. I didn't want to finish the movie. It was too drawn out. I don't know. They tried to throw in like little points where like remember the dude that came out and Anya was like, oh shit, like upset that he was there. Like they tried to throw in like an interesting point. I'm like, I get what you're trying to do, but I still don't care. Can we get to the point?
I
Like,
I will say this is that movie was as the movie progressed, it became very predictable.
that was my problem with it. Like I saw everything coming, and then when it came, it just wasn't.
Yeah,
It then ruined it for me because then it also wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Like the whole thing with the guy laying out the mat and everything. I don't want to ruin it, but I mean, you'll know what's coming for 5 minutes before it happens.
it's true.
It just wasn't it wasn't as shocking. They could have pushed it even further, and it would have helped the movie a lot. You know, like all the shocking things they did.
Yeah,
They just they wanted to do like a shocking movie and do like a weird thing and have this whole menu thing, but it didn't go far enough. It just stayed in that middle ground where it just stayed weird for me. That's how I
yeah.
view it. Some people loved it, which is fine. Okay.
I mean, I liked it for like bad movie night because like whenever Heather and I have time to watch movies, we end up watching like that's our thing. Like we love to watch bad movies.
Yeah.
Um,
You should watch The Bad Batch.
yeah, we're going to now. I
Put
mean,
it on the list.
I'm
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it
I
now.
didn't say the other reason I'm glad I watched The Bad Batch. It rescued me from what has been my worst movie of all time for years. The last movie that Paul Walker shot. It actually released after he passed away. It was the last
His
movie
was
he
his dark
shot.
horror movie or whatever.
No, it's called Hours.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And for a long time, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I could not believe it. It was the same thing. It was bad writing. The whole premise of the entire movie of Hours is he's in the hospital and his wife's having a baby, and she dies giving birth, and so then they put they have to take the baby out and it's put it in like one of those little, what are the little things that like the baby's in like the little lid, they close the lid and that breathes for him and does all that stuff
You're
in
talking
the
like an
NICU.
like an iron lung or an incubator.
Yeah, incubator
Okay, that's
for the
not the
baby. So
breathing thing.
so he's with the baby in that, and then they're in like the tropics or something, and like a flood comes, and like the power goes out, and at first the generators are working, but then the flood also overtakes the generators, and so the whole movie, the entire movie is him trying to do stuff and escape, and he has to keep coming back to the incubator and cranking this little thing on it to keep his baby alive, to keep his daughter
Oh
alive.
Jesus!
He sets like a timer on his watch. All right, I got 20 minutes before the power runs out, and I have to come back and to keep the baby alive. It's
What was
like
that?
so,
What was that motion?
yeah. That's not even word. Like
Careful, you might break your chair, man.
it's already broken. I need a new one, bro. It was so stupid, and like it just made no sense because people start raiding the hospital, and you're like, all right, okay, I guess I could see that. But then they like see him, and they just immediately start shooting at him, and you're like, all right, that's fine, whatever. And then like he goes to escape, and he gets on the roof, and there's like a helicopter coming, and there's some people on like another roof on the building next to the hospital, and they start shooting at him and the helicopter, and you're like, who the fuck would ever shoot at the helicopter coming to rescue them? It's like you just they like wrote the movie in chunks. Like they're like, all right, what happens in this 5 minutes? I don't know. Helicopter comes.
So
Well,
like things
then
just
is the
happen for
movie
the sake of happening,
yeah,
right?
then is the movie over? No, no, no. They shoot at the helicopter and it goes away, so the movie keeps going. Okay, okay, good idea, good idea. Like it was so fucking dumb. But then the Bad Batch rescued me from that because I felt really bad. It was the last movie Paul Walker shot, and it came out after he passed. Like,
You would think
and
it'd
it
be better.
was. I watched it because of that. Like, oh, cool. I want to see Paul Walker's last movie, and like, it was so bad. But yeah, the Bad Batch saved me from that. It's now the worst movie I've ever seen.
I would say for me, like, I mean, I've seen bad movies, so it's like I get such a like a sick thrill out of watching bad movies that
Yeah.
very rarely do I like, oh, that was a bad movie. I don't ever want to watch it. This is bad. Um, I rate it more of like, do I get to the point where I'm like, I just don't want to watch this anymore? Like very
Yeah.
you know, that I think that's my like line. If I'm to the point where like I'm gonna watch something else, you know.
Yeah. Well, I like bad
Um,
movies that are fun to watch because they're
Yeah.
terrible.
I think and I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for it, and I need to go back and rewatch it because I'm gonna blame it on I'm gonna blame this on that I was just really really tired. But
Okay.
I fell asleep during Inglorious Bastards. Like
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen it maybe once or twice. It's good. I don't think it
and I mean,
deserves the recognition that everyone gives it, saying, "Oh, it's fucking amazing." It's okay.
that's like I I get. I mean, I know I fell asleep watching it, and I think Heather fell asleep like before I did.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was because I just lost interest in the movie, or we just maybe had a long day. Like I don't remember what we were doing before that, but we
Yeah.
watched it right when it came out on video because it hit like the red box, and so we like grabbed that, and we're like, well, we'll go home and watch that. It's just like I fell asleep. I'm like, I don't really care to go back and watch this again.
Yeah.
Um, but
I
now,
only ever like I only watched it for Christoph Waltz. He's the best fucking part of the movie. I don't give a shit that Pitt is in it. Like
which one's he?
Christoph Waltz is the like German fella that plays Hans.
Oh, he was in that show. He was in the show Lie to Me and some of the other stuff. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Also
he was
one
in
of the newer villains
Alita.
in
He was in
Bond.
Django Unchained.
Yeah, he was the dentist bounty hunter.
Yeah, the one that the viral clip that went viral forever, where it's like a reward.
It's like a reward.
Yeah,
What about you, Mystery? What's the worst movie you've ever watched? And you should have like a huge library of bad movies.
Why would
Worst-
he have a huge library? Is that a Canadian thing?
Well, no, he works at a movie theater. He should like know
Oh.
all the movies. Jesus, what are you, racist? Or
Well, they don't make you watch them.
nationalist?
They don't make you watch them and go, you need to watch these and recommend the
No,
good ones
yeah,
to the
okay, so
customers.
Yeah, fun fact, that's not a thing anymore. Like back when we actually had reels in the theaters, that's when you actually had to test the reels and the films just to make sure that it's all up and running properly. But
Yeah.
everything's all digital now, so we don't actually get to sit down and watch and test and make sure the movie's running properly. Like a lot of people think that there's still a projectionist up there in the booth. There is not anymore.
I didn't
Everything's
know.
digital.
I didn't know you had to like test the reels.
Oh, way back, yeah. When we did actually have reels, we had to, yeah. You did have to test the reels to make sure that the film strip's working properly and all that stuff.
Did you ever have to like repair one? I've seen videos of people like repairing them and fixing
Oh,
like
no, I
splicing and
wasn't.
shit.
No, I was no, because everything was digital by the time I got hired.
Oh.
The single frame of porn. I know where you're going with this.
One in digital frame.
So you're telling me there's no guy up there in the window watching what we're doing the whole time?
No,
Look-
not anymore. Not anymore. That's why also if there's ever an issue, it takes a while to like get that movie up and running again. It's because it's all digital. So like the manager has to make their way up to the projection room and then from there fix it.
I know.
Reset the computer.
We
It's usually the issue.
we have
Like,
a
refresh the projector.
we have a local drive-in here in town, and
Okay.
they had to have a big fundraising thing because when everything switched over to digital, she was like she was a one-man operation. It was just her, and she had to raise, it was like $13,000 or $14,000 to be able to switch over to the new projector and new audio and just literally just completely reinvent the drive-in at that location because of she's also a big piece of shit Trump supporter, so I'm not really upset about it.
Oh, that's too bad then.
Yeah. But it's neat. If you separate that out and you just go to the drive-in for the drive-in experience, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's only really fun like to do like as a family.
Yeah.
It's not fun to go by yourself. I guess it could be fun on a date or whatever.
Well, I've taken I've gone on a couple of dates to the drive-in and
Yeah.
you're right. It's been more of a family trip than anything else, but it's never been to movies that like either that I've not seen yet that I'm like, oh man, I really want to go to see this movie. I'm going to go watch it at the drive-in. No. It's usually like, oh, we went and saw the movie and we're like, well, let's go watch it again. Well, let's go see it at the drive-in.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Or
that.
parents take their kids to go see like Cars or some shit
Right,
and they're not
right.
really watching it, but the kids are watching it.
Exactly. The first movie that I ever saw at the drive-in was Anaconda, the Jennifer Lopez, the really really bad one. That was the first movie that I've ever seen at a drive-in, and that's when it came out.
Back when you had to tune the fucking radio in and you're
Well-
using the little speaker.
Well, see, that's the thing is that there's a lot of local drama over this because first off, she had the little stands that had the speakers and you set them on, and they like sit on the side of the car and whatnot. But people would steal them. Like I never would have thought about things to
Or
steal.
what?
Like because
It's
they
a
were
piece of shit speaker.
well, it's still set up in like it's very 50s style. So I guess it being vintage, I could see people wanting to steal it. I never understood it. But what was even worse than that was like when the movie was over, people would forget to like move the speaker back to the speaker post.
Oh yeah, they drive away.
They
and pull it
drive
off.
away and pull it off and break it. So
Yeah.
she said she was having to spend like it's like $700 or $800 a speaker to have them replaced.
Man,
So when it got to the point where like it just wasn't cost effective, she went and she got these huge PA speakers.
play them
Monster.
over PA system.
Monster.
Gonna sound awful.
Oh, like, number one, yes. Number two, the drive-in is located in kind of a residential neighborhood. Like there's
So you're just blaring movies
Yeah.
in people's backyards.
oh, it became a huge battle because people were complaining to the town like this is a noise ordinance problem. And
Yeah, why did she not just get the system
well,
to do it over the radio?
we're getting there. But
Oh,
the worst part was she would do two showings a night. She would do like the dusk showing, which was
oh,
usually
so it's even worse. So they're
oh
battling each other for sound.
well no. It was she would do the first showing would be at dusk, and it would be movies that were PG-13 and under, and then
Okay.
she would do um then at like 9 or 10, like whenever the next movie was to come on, that's when she would show like rated R movies. And like people were complaining. It was like, I'm trying to put my kid to bed, and all I hear is like fuck, fuck, fuck. And I'm like, I kind of get where they're going with this. So there was a bunch of battles, and it was like huge drama in the community. And finally, she raised enough money to put in an AM or I can't remember if it was an AM or an FM transmitter. And you like, oh, when you pull in, tune your your radio dial to such and such, such and such. And
Yeah.
but then the next problem that she's having now is, people they would get to the drive-in, they turn the car off and turn the radio on and sit there and watch the movie, and then their batteries would die in their car. So
Oh,
so
God.
she's got like a couple of those like battery packs that you carry around to plug into car batteries to jump the cars.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
just like it just keep getting worse and worse and worse for her. And
Yeah, it's a dying thing. I'm
it,
surprised when I see him around. Like,
this one, I mean, she still does somewhat well. I mean, she stayed open through COVID because she's like everybody's in their car. There's no sense in not being open. But then again, one of the guys that works with us, his daughter went to work there in the concession stands, and they got them all like T-shirts that would had like the logo of the drive-in on the front, and then on the
yeah.
back it had "I survived the scamdemic," and so kind of gives you the idea of who these people were or are. And she's like, she worked there for one shift. She's like, I don't even care if I got paid. She goes, I just left.
Oh my
She's like, I'm
God.
not dealing with this.
The
The
scamdemic.
scamdemic. But
I haven't heard that one.
really,
That's a good one.
it was bad.
No.
But she still does. I mean, she still does fairly well. She still shows. She shows current movies like as they come out, and
Yeah.
she does that on the weekends. And then on like one night a week during the summer, she'll do like a family movie. During like May the 4th, she did Star Wars, and then during like on Friday mornings or something like that, she does a they have like a flea market that they come in and set up vendor stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
she's doing what she can to survive. But
She should like every Wednesday night play like old episodes of what's the fucking show Trump used to do?
The Apprentice.
Yeah, run the episodes of The Apprentice or something. It'd be great if Trump, like, now that he's like retired from office or whatever, he should start doing like Trump parodies of movies. Like, he would make millions. He'd make so much. He'd make back all his money.
He is.
Just do like Trump parodies. There's so many supporters that would just love to go see.
I like Philk says down in Winston Salem, which is in North Carolina. It's a couple hours south of here. Says that they had a X-rated movie theater that was a drive-in, and
I don't know how you would do that.
I couldn't imagine because like the only drive-in experience I have is the one here in town, and
Yeah.
just the idea of
Them playing that.
yeah.
In people's backyards on the fucking PA system.
I feel so bad.
All right,
Oh.
Johnny. Good night. I love you. Oh,
Oh my God.
let me close your curtain, honey. No, it's okay. I like the light.
We still didn't come back. So what was the worst movie, Mystery? We got completely tangent.
One of the ones I definitely wanted to walk out on was probably the sequel to Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
I never
Ghost
saw
Rider:
that one.
Spirit of Vengeance.
There was a sequel.
Yeah, there was. The trailers looked really great for that movie, and Ghost Rider is one of my favorite characters. But man, watching that movie, I was like about 20 or 30 minutes into that movie, and I was just like,
They made a
want to get
second
out.
one?
They did
Was
make
it
a
still
second
Nick
one.
Cage?
Yeah, that's
It
what I was
was
going to ask.
also still Nick Cage.
Really?
What the fuck? Oh my
Yeah.
god, and Idris Elba was in it.
Idris Elba was in it as well. Yeah.
What the heck?
There's some like if you look at the trailer, there's some really cool stuff that's in there.
It has an
And it is in the
18% on
movie.
Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
It's well, you beat the rating beats Bad Batch. I'll tell you that.
Ghost Rider 2. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it came
thought
out
they
in
just made the
2012.
one.
Around the time when all the trailers had the we watch it in 3D thing, like, you know.
Well, Google gives it a better rating than
Yeah, 73% of
Yeah.
Google users liked it.
I'll be damned. I saw Spirit of Vengeance on TV before I'd seen the original Ghost Rider, but as it turns out, I need not matter as this is a reboot of sorts. I recently got a 3D copy to watch, so my review is based on that viewing. The first thing I want to talk about, as it got stuck in my head, is Nick Cage's over-the-top acting when transforming into Ghost Rider. That's Nick Cage, like
That's
over-the-top
what he
acting.
does.
Right,
He
and it was very over the top in the first movie too, right? But it worked, I guess, in a way. But like in this one, it just I don't know.
He's
I've never seen the first one. I'm pretty sure I've never seen it.
I think
I've seen
I've-
like the trailer.
I've watched it maybe once because I was just I mean I didn't like it. I think that I can't remember like I kind of like the character, but I remember like watching it like one time and some movies I'm like okay I've watched it once I'm done I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was basically me for Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Never even knew they made a sequel to that.
Dang. I know a really controversial movie that I don't like that literally everyone I know loves it and says
right.
it's the best movie they've ever seen, and they're winning all kinds of awards. Literally, this awards we just had. I feel bad that I didn't like it, but I didn't like it.
What movie?
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I haven't
still
watched
haven't
it.
seen it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I want to watch it.
I
I'm so far behind
I'll-
on movies.
I'll let you watch it and you tell me
All right, so what is it called?
everything, everywhere, all at once. It has Ki Hu Kwan. It's got Michelle Yao. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis, James Hong. It's got a lot of really famous Asian actors, and then Jamie Lee Curtis.
I didn't even know she was in the movie.
it and I really Key was my favorite part of it. His character was fucking amazing, but like the movie bugged me.
Really?
You'll have to watch it, then we can talk about it.
All right.
You'll have to watch it. We can talk about it.
I just
Maybe
sent it to.
Maybe we'll bring Mystery on for mystery movie reviews every now and then or something.
That's what we should do. Maybe once a month we should do it like an all
Yeah.
movies episode because that'll give me incentive to actually watch movies because I don't. If I have time to turn on the television to watch something,
Yeah, you watch something that you know is going to be good. You don't
I'll-
waste your time.
I'll watch like Family Guy or Archer and play on my phone. Like it's so bad. Like I mean, I used to watch all the movies as they came out. You know, we would go to the movie theater and see them, and now it's just I just don't have. You know, it just doesn't do it for me. So, how is Avatar doing in your theater, Mystery?
In my theater, it's at first it wasn't doing too well because holidays and everyone was kind of just busy with holiday shopping and all that stuff. But after Christmas, it picked up for sure in our theater. And then we started for a couple of days we started getting sold out shows. But now it's dropped down significantly again. I think they're hitting close to about 2 billion worldwide.
Yeah, they were I think they just hit 1.9 billion, which is weird. And somebody pointed this out to me the other day. I never thought about it. Okay. Do you know anybody that's seen it?
That's what I was saying. That's literally what I was going to say.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me that the other day, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I haven't seen it. Nobody I know have seen it.
I think we talked about that last week because I think Phil said he went and saw it. And
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about
yeah,
it.
that's it.
Who the fuck is watching it then? It's made 1.9 billion.
Yeah.
Who watched it?
I mean, usually when a movie does really well,
Yeah, everyone's talking about it.
Everyone's talking about it. Everyone is, I see tons and tons of posts about it. I see news reports going, "Oh, it's made $1 billion. It's made $1.5 billion."
That's the only
whatever.
thing I ever see. Nobody
Yeah.
ever talks about the movie. I just see everyone talking about how much money it's made. Is James Cameron renting out like theaters
I think he is.
something,
I think he is.
making himself money? Infinite money glitch.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
only person I know that has seen it is Philk. And I heard one person at my work talking about it the other day that they have seen it. Almost everyone else I've talked to said, "Yeah, I'll wait until it's out of theaters. I'm not that excited to see it."
It's
Like,
also incredibly long, isn't it? It's almost like 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it's at least 3 hours.
240 or
Yeah,
something.
I mean,
No, definitely over 3 hours for sure.
It's 3 hours and 12 minutes. I thought it was like almost
how
yeah,
long? How long was Endgame? Because that one was really long too, wasn't it?
like 230 or something.
Because I remember
Yeah,
sitting
it was
through.
getting close to 3
No,
hours.
end game is 3 hours.
Because I remember going to see Endgame, and I would say after about 2 hours, like I was like, I need to get up. I mean, just sitting here in this chair when we do podcasts and stuff. After about 2 hours, I need to get up and move around. And
Okay.
and
I googled what is the longest movie. You're not gonna guess it.
oh no, there's. I just watched a TikTok on there that was like it depends on your definition of movie.
Yeah,
there was
I'm not
like
gonna classify this one as a movie.
there
then.
was like some movie holds the record for like 87 hours, but it was
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, the only reason why it's 87 hours long, he was reading some poem, so it's like, is that really a movie? So,
I'm now curious. An 87-hour movie.
it's an 87
It's
hour movie.
It's 85 and a half hours.
Okay.
Experimental film directed by John Timmis in 1987.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
What?
But there's like a lot of debate. As
Can you
to whether-
imagine going to the theater for that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, we're thinking we're gonna do like 8 hours tomorrow. Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah. No, I remember I watched something on it here just the last few days that was talking about it. And it was like it's just him reading a poem.
That's not a fucking movie.
And that's
So
kind
the
of-
longest actual
Yeah.
movie is Gone with the Wind. It's
Yeah.
4 hours long.
Yep. That
Oh,
was,
really?
Yeah. Which is
Wow.
another movie that I've never seen.
Well, it's 1 minute shy of 4 hours. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Cleopatra's 4 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah, like Ben-Hur is really long. And
Yeah. So a bunch of movies back in the 60s and 70s are long as fuck.
I wonder why they were that long. I wonder if it was an actual like artistic
So they
It's a
artistic
filibuster.
choice or something.
I,
They followed the exact same pattern of cell phones. Remember when cell phones came out when they were big, and then they got smaller, and now they've started to get big again? The same thing happened with film. They started really long. It got shorter and shorter. It got down to about a minute 15 or an hour 15, hour 20. Remember, everyone was doing that. And then now it started rising again. Now we're getting back to 3 hour fucking long movies.
well, you know the theory as to why the cell phones have like started to get bigger again, right?
Are you
Everybody
talking
'Cause we're all
physically
blind?
bigger, or are you talking like hard drive
no,
size?
physically larger. like-
Physically
physically
bigger.
Yeah.
larger, okay.
So everybody talks like, oh, it's the batteries. The batteries are bigger, so they'll last longer. No,
The batteries are the same size.
the counter argument is it's porn, because porn.
Yeah, I
is-
want to see my porn bigger.
Yeah, it's
Tablets are too big.
Yep, tablets are too big, but the cell phones are just that right size for porn. And the more I was like, you know what, that's probably more true than we really want to let on.
It's good for recording porn or just watching porn?
Yes.
Watching.
Who's recording porn on their phone?
I don't know.
I mean,
people.
Yeah.
OnlyFans people.
So I've watched TikToks about gamers that are streaming games on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I've heard it's a thing. I've heard it works.
I am so torn. Like I want to see like
OnlyFans.
yeah, because you ran out the theater to watch porn. Not in a long time, Rebel.
Do you think you could do an OnlyFans where it's you, like a face cam, and then imposed over like a bad movie that you're watching? It's like bad movie reviews on OnlyFans, and you watching and like reacting to it live. You go, what the fuck does that mean? And
I guess it's all based on how their licensing works. Because I've always been really curious about how the licensing works on TikTok, because they, you have all the music and all that is on TikTok. So it's like, how does those licenses work?
Oh, China knows.
Yeah, so I don't think China cares. Um, but no, I was just like because I told Heather, I said like one day you're going to see like a notification because you have to be verified on OnlyFans. I only know this because I've talked to people. I'm not on OnlyFans, I'll tell you that.
Let me look it up. Hold
I'm
on,
just
I'm gonna
not.
Google that. OnlyFans Q
But
stick. Go ahead. What were you saying?
To verify to verify you are who you are, you have to put in a credit card, and they charge like 1 penny to the credit card just
To verify
to
it?
verify it. So I told Heather, it's like one day you're going to see one of my credit card charges. It's going to be for 1 penny for OnlyFans, but it's just because I want to watch streamers, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I I just don't get that. I
How come when I look up OnlyFans Q stick, the first thing that comes up is porn Twitter for somebody named Misty Ray. I thought it said Mystery for a second. It
Oh
said Misty
God!
Ray.
so has Q stick already been like taken on
Is he serious
OnlyFans?
about this?
I don't know.
Sometimes I can't tell if he's joking or
I
not.
typed in OnlyFans Q stick, and the top thing that came up was a chick named Misty Ray. I tried to click on it, but then I have to sign in
Oh, it
to
is.
Twitter.
Well, yeah, but if you look underneath it, it's marked out Q stick. Oh, it's pool cues. Yes, the pool cue.
Oh, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard of
Oh.
her. Okay, yeah, I've heard
alright.
of her. She was on a podcast I listened to a while ago. I heard about her. Yeah.
I just don't understand the value of OnlyFans. I just don't. I
I don't know.
I mean, people. I mean, they're making money on it. More power to them. I completely support
Didn't
it.
Markiplier go on there?
Yeah, he blew it up and became like the most, like the highest grossing person or something like that when he joined, or the most subscriptions. He set some
Yeah.
record.
I know there's a ton of people on there that do non-porn stuff and make plenty of money.
Yeah, I just.
Like all kinds of various just weird things.
Well,
like,
I know there's OnlyFans is big in for cooking. Like people will do it like a lot of like cooking videos or come cook with me
I could
type
see that.
stuff.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I'd pay for that though, but okay.
Well, that's the same way I feel about it with porn. I'm like, there is a lot of free porn out there. Why are you paying for it?
I guess if it's the right person, then it makes sense.
I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't get it. It's the same thing on TikTok when you see the thirst traps on TikTok and when they're doing like the live videos and they're just standing there and all it is just a video of them standing there and the people are paying them money and I'm like,
Thirst traps?
yeah.
And they're
What's a
just saying
thirst
hi
trap?
to like all the people that comment. Oh, hey, how you doing, Rabble? Just Rabble. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And that's like that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Wait, you don't know what a thirst trap is, Mystery?
No idea. What is that?
You should Google it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Google it.
Do I have to Google this in incognito?
It's
mode or
when
something?
you know when you're drinking when you're drinking water and you got ice in there and it gets stuck at the bottom and you're just tilting the cup and it hasn't released yet and then all of a sudden the ice lets go and just hits you in the face. It's
Am
not
I doing
that.
this in incognito mode? What the hell?
Have you seen the one TikTok that I've seen come up a lot recently? Because I don't have a ton of thirst traps on mine, but I do have a guy that his whole TikTok is him adding farts to thirst traps.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So it's just him sitting there with a soundboard, just waiting for the right moment, and then
I will say this. I started following a thirst trap girl, not because of what you would normally expect. I was thumbing through TikTok and I came across this TikTok live of this girl, and she was trying to put together a chest of drawers, just a dresser, and it was from IKEA, and she was just struggling. I mean, she couldn't. You know how like the
oh yeah, you were telling me about this chick. Didn't
Yeah.
you watch her for like
I
2
wa-
hours or
Oh,
something?
I watched her for like 2 or 3 days because she struggled with
Still on the same one?
Yeah, she struggled with it the first.
What if that's
day.
her whole thing? She's just brilliant, and that's like a character she's come up
Wait,
with.
It's not, and that's what really got me was, because she worked on it for like 2 hours and she finally gave up and she goes, "I'll work on it tomorrow." Well, I'm like, well, I need to know how this turns out, So I followed her, and it was the next night she was back working on it, and the problem of it was, how like the fittings when you put these types of things together, it's like you put the little peg in and then you have to turn the fitting to get it to lock in place with a screwdriver.
Yeah. Well, and they have to be facing the right way before you push it in too.
Right. So she
Yeah.
just completely did not know to do any of that. So she'd get it all put together and like pop together, and then
Gaps.
it would just have gaps that would fall over. And I mean, it was when I first started watching it.
Was she American?
Yeah, yeah. She lives in
It
Maryland.
would have been so much better if she was like Russian and she's like, the fuck.
I sat the first time I watched it, I was like, this has to be a shtick. There's no way. Like she would put like one side on and the other side would fall off, and I mean it was just like this is like Monty
Maybe
Python,
it
you know?
is.
And-
Maybe she's brilliant.
But so I followed her and she started working on it the second night, and she still struggled with it because she didn't have the.
How
track-
does she start that stream? Hi guys, we're
don't know.
we're
I
still
missed
putting the cabinet together. If you
But-
guys have any tips, let me know in the comments. All right, thanks for stopping by.
That's,
All right.
But that's basically what it was. Was like, you know, she's like, if you have any help, I don't know what I'm doing. You know,
The thing goes in the thing.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So instead of having a screwdriver, she had a power drill, and that's what she was trying to use to tighten
Whoa.
stuff up. And then and she didn't have a hammer. That's what got me watching this in the beginning. Was she would use the butt of the drill to like hammer shit in. So of course that when you start
shit.
hammering on it, the other side fall off. So she finally was like, there's a service that's kind of like it's like the online services like DoorDash and stuff like that, but it's like a handyman service.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's called. I never even heard of it until she brought it up.
I've heard of it. I can't remember what it's called.
But she and she's like, well, I'll just go on there and have somebody come over and put it together for me. And that was like the last I heard of it.
TaskRabbit.
Yeah, TaskRabbit or something like that. Yeah, yeah. But so she finished the second live, and then it was like the next day, she was live again. So I'm like, I gotta know. So
I gotta see.
like I was invested. I've never been invested in TikTok.
Is
as I
she
was-
wearing scantily clad? Like,
Yeah,
what is she
yeah,
wearing?
Yeah, she's usually like
Okay.
she's wearing like a pair of yoga pants and a sports bra or something like that.
well, she knows what she's doing,
I mean,
but
and
she
that-
also
didn't know what she
is
was doing.
dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so the third night I jump on there and I'm like, I need to know what's going on, and she's just like standing in her bathroom doing her makeup. And then I realized that that's what this live is it's just her doing her makeup and getting ready. So like I start commenting in the chat. I'm like, I need an update on the you going to bed?
Yeah.
All right, good night, sweetheart.
Izzy.
All right.
All right, to bed. Everybody says good night.
Good night.
So
Yeah, we need an update on the
yeah.
the
So I put in the
chest,
chat.
the drawer.
Yeah, I put in the chat. I was like, I need an update on the dresser. And, you know, and she responds and she's like, yeah, I've got somebody coming over tomorrow to put it together for me. I'm like, okay, cool. So I leave and that's the end of that.
Did she go live the next day? That'd have been great. It's her filming, her just watching, like as the guy puts it together.
even better, Oreo. So she goes live the next night, and so I of course go in as soon as I get the notification, and she's back working on the dresser.
Oh,
and-
so nobody came to hook
They
it together?
did. She showed us on her phone the TaskRabbit. They charged her like $200 to come over and put this. Yeah, to come over and
Dang.
put this thing together, and they didn't even
But
finish
it's not
it.
done?
They didn't finish it. So she's
Did they
back
send
work-
somebody else that didn't know what they were doing?
I don't know. She's like, yeah, they worked on it for like 2 hours, and
Is there like a $1 million idea? It's
right.
TaskRabbit, but it's girls like her. They come to your
Oh God.
but finally, after as that one, like as that live wrapped up, she managed to finally get it all put together. And I mean, she actually did get it all put together. She got the.
Have you checked with her? Ask if it's still standing?
Oh, I do. Every time she pops on, I post asking for a dresser update. She just ignores me now. But that's like the only thirst trap that I'll follow, and it wasn't even a thirst trap as to why I followed it. It was just like I've
Could you
never
imagine
been so
a dad bod thirst trap? He's like not wearing a shirt, he's all sweaty, and it's just him doing work in the workshop. but him doing that character too, where he's the girl and he comes up to the screen. Oh, Mystery 300. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, we're just putting the cabinet together. I was just about to run it through the planer. It's just him like wearing short shorts. Could you imagine a big dude wearing short shorts and no shirt?
You're giving me an idea. I may do this. But the only downside of it is, and this is what drives me crazy, is unless you're willing to, unless you've got like $1 million idea, or you're willing.
Well, I just
to,
gave you two.
which I mean, I may do this. Not even gonna lie, I may do this. Or you're willing to like show your body. It's really hard to get followers on TikTok.
Oh, that's
and-
true. Well, then put on your OnlyFans then.
Yeah, and you can't go live until you hit I think it's 1,000 followers, which is that's a really high bar for going live on any type of service.
What's the other one that's not OnlyFans? It's the one they pay for like a video, and you do like is it Cameo?
Where you
Oh, the
can,
voice thing?
What is that?
Where you pay like mostly celebrities
Like
do
it's-
it, but there's
yeah.
also people that aren't celebrities that do it too.
Yeah, like for like $150, I could have a
Yeah.
random C-list celebrity wish Mystery of happy birthday in a video.
Yeah. I know a guy from
Oh,
one of the podcasts I
there you go.
listen to. He has a bunch of shoulder hair. I know he does videos on that website for like $100 a pop.
What is shoulder hair? Is it shoulder length hair?
Yeah, it's shoulder. He
Or
has
is
hair on
hairy-
his
or
shoulders.
just hairy shoulders.
Yeah, and people pay him to
He's
see
just
the
trying to
videos.
make, like a cape out of his like shoulder hair,
Oh,
something. Yeah.
Yeah, and people pay him for it. I don't know why. Probably, it's probably a thing you send to your friends and laugh and go, "Haha, it's gross. Look,
yeah, exactly. I will
look,
say
he's
that,
saying hi to you."
I will say that I had a friend. I won't name names because I won't do it. But there for a while she was doing, she was streaming on Twitch, and just playing whatever video game that she was playing, and then she had another camera set up under the desk, and she would do feet stuff, and it was always just, to me it was just disgusting stuff. Like she would have like a bowl of peanut butter. And-
Just messing with
and
it
would
while
just-
playing on the Twitch.
Yeah.
Dang, that she'd multitask. She's making
Yeah,
two
she
streams of
was.
income at once.
Yeah,
that's
it-
brilliant. She's smart.
I mean, she was making, she wasn't making anything on Twitch, but she was making pretty good.
Well,
you
she's
know.
not worried about making money on Twitch. She's
Yeah.
getting followers for the other stream. Make
Yeah.
sure you guys follow my other stream
Yep.
on Feetsy or whatever the fuck. I don't.
Maybe
I'm
it-
sure there's
It was on OnlyFans.
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she still does it or not, but I know that she was making money doing it, and she was making enough money. She quit her regular job.
Yeah. Feet stuff makes a lot of money. I know guys that make money doing feet stuff. I'm like, what? How? How the fuck?
I watched a TikTok about it. This guy goes and he gets like all these pedicures and gets his feet taken care of, and then does
Those videos.
does feet videos.
Yeah.
And nobody's the wiser. He's like, yeah, that's what I do. And I'm just like,
I guess if it works.
I mean,
fuck.
if it works, that's you, man. Let's do it. But
You guys are blowing my mind right now.
what? I mean, come on, man. It's 2023. We got to make $1
Yeah.
somehow.
There's probably
No, I mean,
Canadians
like,
doing
just
it
the
too.
fact that, yeah, that's thirst traps and these feet videos. Holy.
I don't understand the feet thing, but you know what? I don't kink shame, unless kink shaming.
I
is
don't
your
get
thing.
how it's like it's like the number one most popular one. That's like you always hear about it.
Right. Anyway, what else?
I don't get the one that people like watch. They like watching people like eat the mukbang or whatever the
yeah.
fuck. I don't get that.
I know
dude.
that, yeah.
And especially the ASMR ones and like in the fucking mic. I'm like, turn it off. I don't get that. Fucking hate it. But how long were you going to go on? I have no idea.
About an hour and
7:30,
15.
Hour and a half. All right.
Let's say I don't know what else we need to have another topic as to what's going on. Yeah.
Well,
I
we
did-
never talked about good movies.
Ooh, good movies. Well, see, that's too easy.
That one's harder though, because it's like, all right, there's almost two different categories. Like, what's the best movie you've seen, and what's your favorite movie? Because I would say my favorite movie is not the best movie I've ever seen.
I agree.
I don't even know if I'd recommend it to people. It's just my favorite movie. I watch it like once or twice a year.
See, I have movies that I watch one or two times a month, just because they're
Just like him that much.
yeah, you know. I love watching Jurassic Park. It's one of my favorite movies of
Oh,
all
I
time.
love all the Jurassic
Mm.
Parks.
Yeah, and me too. Like I don't I know that the newer Jurassic Parks or even like the original trilogy Jurassic Parks, the second and third movies got a lot of hate, and I mean I
The
didn't.
second one is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were. I mean, I thought they were great. I mean, I really wasn't a big fan of the third one. I felt like it was.
Yeah, I think the third one was one of the weakest for me too.
To me, it definitely felt like just a money grab. Like, hey,
Mm.
let's slap Jurassic Park on a story, and people will go see it. And
Yeah.
I mean, they did, but like once they saw it, I'm like, ugh, I'm never gonna see that again.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not watching it all the time.
Jurassic Park is one. My mom is her favorite movie is Twister, and
Oh.
Twister.
and I think I bet you I've seen that movie. I'll tell you this: my mother wore out a VHS copy of Twister.
Of Twister?
Yeah, she
No
loves it.
way.
One of her favorite movies, and
Huh.
by
That's the one where they put the little balls in
Yeah.
In the
the dory
tornado?
or whatever the heck, right? And
Yeah.
it takes it up and
Mhm. I mean, it had a decent cast, and I mean, I like the story, and I've gone back and watched it even here recently. And then for the most part, the CGI still holds up pretty well.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not great. I mean, you can tell it's CGI, but I mean,
yeah.
you know,
But you also know it's an old movie.
yeah. Well, that was the thing with Jurassic Park for me. You can watch the CGI from Jurassic Park, and it looks just as good as what they would come up with today.
Yeah.
and
Well,
that
there's
was-
so
yeah.
little CGI in the first few. He did a lot of practical to get away with that. Only like in the opening where they're looking really like out open the over the open field and like the long necks and you see this thing. You're like, all right, that's kind of bad CGI, but so much is practical that like
Yeah.
it
Well-
doesn't affect the movie.
Well, that scene where they're walking and the brachiosaur is right there in front of them, and
Right.
like that was CG, but it was like, I mean, you can look at it and go, it's still really good, especially when
Yeah.
you put it in the context. That movie came out in 1993.
Yeah. Well,
You
and
know?
the T-Rex is all CG. A lot of the T-Rex shots, and they look pretty good.
Yeah, I know that during the T Rex escape scenes, they built a full life size robotic Tyrannosaurus, and I watched a documentary on it, and they said that the water misting that they had, being the rainstorm that's happening, was shorting out the electronics on the Tyrannosaurus. So
Oh.
like sometimes it would be on waiting for like a scene, and water would fuck with one of the motors, and it would just
Yeah.
move like
They start jittering while they're like on break and stuff. It start jittering. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that would be terrifying, But like I said, it's still. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies. It holds up. It was a story unlike anything that we'd ever seen leading up to
Is that your favorite movie, Jurassic Park? Then the first one.
I mean, yeah.
Or is that just the movie you probably rewatched the most?
I think that one.
Which
would,
I guess that would mean that's your favorite movie if you rewatched it the most.
I would say yeah. I mean, I think that's my favorite movie. I will say that. I mean, I have so many different favorite movies for like different things.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
can
I have
agree
like
with
a
that.
favorite comedy, a favorite, yeah.
I mean, I can sit and go on. I can name 20 movies that I love for one reason or another, and not a single one of them be like Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not even the obvious. Oh, John's a Star Wars fan.
It depends on the mood you're in, and
Yeah.
sometimes you'll forget about a movie too. And like just randomly one day be like, "Oh yeah, I fucking love that movie. I want to watch it right now." You just just pops into your head. I'm going down the fucking list on IMDb. I don't even like a lot of these movies at the top.
What's yours, Mystery? While he's thumbing
Are you looking for this year or just in general?
in general.
Just in general,
in
overall, the
general-
top-rated movies: Shawshank Redemption, Godfather, Dark Knight.
I like
One
Shawshank.
of a couple of my favorite like animated movies is like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Big
Oh, that
Hero
one's
6.
great.
I very much enjoyed both of those.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6 was
I really
fucking
enjoyed Big Hero
amazing. That
6.
one's a really good movie.
Yeah.
That was Izzy's favorite movie for a while. So we watched
Oh,
Big Hero
really?
6 a
A
lot.
lot.
Oh,
A
Yeah.
wow.
lot.
Oh,
We,
man.
we watched that one. Of course, we watched a lot of Frozen.
Hmm.
Um, the second Frozen movie is up there in one of my favorites.
It's really good.
It's really good. The the musical scene with Kristoff and the reindeer singing like the '70s power ballad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting in the movie theater with Heather and Izzy, and I mean, I was crying. It was so funny. Like, I mean, my sides were hurting. Like, this is the best thing I've ever watched. Um,
Hmm.
but
I
I
I
didn't
freaking
see
love.
Frozen until earlier last year,
Oh,
actually.
you need to.
really,
How have you not watched him?
Yeah.
yeah,
I wish they'd give Josh Gad more because I fucking love Josh
yeah,
Gad and he's
he's
so
really really
good as
funny.
Olaf.
Yeah. Or you go. He has they have a few of the Olaf shorts on Disney Plus that are really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they made a few more during the pandemic too.
yeah,
He did a bunch from home that he'd do voice work like from his living room.
that would be cool. Um, yeah. See, that's the thing too. Is like, it's not just favorite comedy or favorite drama. It'd be like, what's your favorite Disney movie? And of course,
Mm,
you have kids and I have kids, so like, you're well versed in Disney movies.
there's so many good Disney movies.
I think my favorite all time Disney movie is I love Toy Story. Um,
Yeah, that's a good one.
but I was
Probably is that Disney?
which
I
one?
really like Inside Out.
I did too.
Oh, that was a good
That was a
one.
Pixar
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I
And
couldn't remember if Disney released it. I know Pixar made it, but I don't
I
know if that.
I watched it. I think it was me and Heather and Izzy watched it when it hit Disney Plus, and they hadn't seen it. I think Heather had seen it, but I hadn't seen it. And I was like, this is really out there for a kids movie. Like it had
Hmm.
some pretty serious topics.
No, very serious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
When I still to this day refer when stuff happens like, oh, cool, a new core memory.
core memory. Yep. Yeah. Um, but anyway, let's see. See, I love Shawshank. That's one of my favorite. It's my favorite Stephen King movie. Um, but
Shawshank is good.
I like, but
Um,
that was another one. My mom was a big Stephen King fan, or is, and well, she's not now because he's anti-Trump, but that's a whole nother thing.
oh no,
Um,
I liked that 1917 movie that came out in 2019.
1917.
Yeah.
Why does that
It's the one.
sound
It's
familiar?
the movie. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
movie
yeah, that was
like
really
a one
good.
shot. It seemed like a one shot, but it was like
yeah,
it wasn't
Yeah.
really.
that one was really good. I liked that.
I
one.
really
Yeah.
enjoyed 19. I preferred that over what was that big movie that came out that year? It was huge in December.
I don't know.
What was it about?
It was the Korean movie, I think it was.
Oh, Parasite.
That's it. Parasite. Yes.
Parasite was
I pref-
really good. I
It
think I
was
watched
good,
that
but
like
I liked 1917 more than I enjoyed.
more
Parasite.
than Parasite.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about I have not watched barely any foreign films.
You haven't watched Parasite?
I've never even heard of it till just now.
If you, I would say Parasite is the best foreign film.
Really.
That is westernized enough that anyone could watch it. Because there's a lot of foreign films that are their concepts and everything's so far out there that it's hard to enjoy if you don't watch a lot of foreign stuff. Parasite's fucking amazing. I really like it.
Our buddy Paul just watched what is the title of it? Is it RRR or Triple R? The one,
Oh, that was
No,
really good.
RRR.
is that what it is?
fuck.
Is RRR? Is that
Yeah,
that,
That's the best
RRR.
Bollywood movie.
I had so much fun. I've watched that movie 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
It's,
I think that
I
was
heard
my
it won
cream
a
of the
Golden
week like
Globe, I
3 or
think.
4 episodes
oh,
ago.
it did.
I think so.
But yeah, I loved it. It was so over the top. It was so
Yeah.
It was so.
That's
much
one of
fun.
those that it's a bad dumb movie and it's so bad and dumb that it was amazing.
Yeah, loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was because
Mm-hmm.
because I was basically like, live messaging Mystery as I was watching it. It was like, this is
Yeah.
really, really funny. I loved it.
No, everything that happened, you're like, what? It's so over the top
Yeah.
and stupid that it's amazing.
Um, I watched that one, and really, honestly, when it comes to foreign stuff, the only stuff I've really watched is we watched Money Heist, or at least the first couple of seasons. Like I think they're still producing seasons now.
No, it's over.
Is it? Like I know
It had a really a decent ending, which is so hard to end a really big show like that.
I watched.
Uh,
I think I watched the first and second season. I think, um, and that was
the
that.
first and second season were done completely in Spain. Third, fourth, and fifth, which is the final one, were all done after Netflix threw their money into it.
Mm, okay, and then was Squid Game. I watched that because
Squid Game's really
everybody
good.
everybody was watching it. But I mean, when it comes
Yeah.
to foreign films, I mean, I barely watch American films, so I mean, branching out to foreign stuff would be impossible for me.
Oh,
Did you
see,
watch Train to
we,
Busan, Oreo?
yeah, Train to Busan, and the
But
I
second
liked
one
Train to
was
Busan. The second one
we'll
was
put some wood in the
fun.
fire. Keep going.
second one was ridiculous. There's
Oh
like
my
a there's like
lord,
a
yeah.
there's like a scene where like a 9-year-old girl and then her like 6-year-old little sister are like the 9-year-old is driving a car and she does this move that I have never even seen in like a Fast and Furious movie. Like it was the most insane shit, and she's 9, and you're like, she's that good of a driver. And then along with her doing that, the 6-year-old's driving an RC car, and she's doing like all this insane shit with the RC car, like alongside of the actual car, and you're like, what the fuck? I mean, I get it. They're the the Train to Busan movies way after the apocalypse happened and the zombies took over. So they've literally grown up and this is their entire world.
Oh yeah,
So maybe
Peninsula,
they're
right?
just that
Yeah.
good at driving, but like,
Yeah, that was one of those ones I was just like, nope, that was not no bueno for me.
no.
But Train to Busan was a great movie.
Why is Mystery so quiet?
I'm quiet again.
Is he quiet for you or just me?
I don't know. It's a
Do you,
little on the low side.
do you want me to hold on? Do you want me to crank up a bit more? There, I
don't
got
know.
another niche, another notch more.
Yeah, that came up a little bit. I don't know
Yeah?
how
Yeah,
it's.
that works.
Do you want me to crank it all the way? Because I got two more
No.
notches.
No, it's probably all right.
Okay.
I watched
Yeah.
I watched Bullet
See, in my
Train.
house, I haven't watched it yet. I want to.
It's fucking stupid. I
But
love
we have like
it's
the
so fun.
Bullet Train.
it.
It's fun.
It's-
It's just yeah. It's
The only thing I know
ridiculous
about
fun.
it is I heard that there's one chick that dies and everyone was sad because everyone really liked her. That's all I know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know who
yeah.
the chick is. I don't know anything. I don't. That's
Oh,
all I
okay.
know.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about because
Yeah.
she had an incredibly short amount of time in the movie, and it was like, oh, hey, we know her, and like, oh, she's dead.
Hey, in my house, even though I watch a lot of TV and movies and stuff, we have the same problem as we haven't seen a lot of stuff everyone else has because we almost exclusively watch like foreign stuff.
I feel like I need to.
Like we watch so much Korean movies and Korean TV shows and Indian movies and French stuff, and I'm watching an Australian show right now that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, I've just been really bad at it, and like I said, I'm so bad about if I've got time to watch TV, I'll put on something I've seen or or something that I know. Um, Hulu put Fresh Prince of Bel Air on it,
ooh,
and I've been going back.
need it.
Yeah, I've been going back. working
The
through
original one, right?
Yeah, the original series. Yeah.
Because they have like a drama version or dramatic one now, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. We don't
Yeah,
talk
we
about
don't
that.
talk about
Oh, that's okay. I see.
Yeah.
I've never seen that, but like I've seen trailers. Like there was like a fan made trailer or something that was made initially, and then it got funded by Will Smith
Yeah, I don't know.
or something, and then they turned it into like a whole drama.
It's so hard to
TV
go
series.
back and watch. For me, watching Will Smith when everybody he was like, "This is the beloved Will Smith," and then now it's just all I can think about is keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm just
Yeah, their whole family got like so rich and famous. They're all super weird now.
yeah, yeah, and it was that his relationship with her is like really out there. Like,
Oh, it's wild
they
that
have
that.
an open
Yeah,
relationship, and she pretty much
yeah.
was like,
Jada has an open relationship.
yeah,
Will's there.
yeah, and it was like, oh yeah, she has an open relationship, and she's like, yeah, it's because he's so bad in bed, and like,
Okay.
you don't say that like that. I mean, I don't care whether you are or you aren't. Number one, you don't say that about your your significant other. And number two,
Yeah.
if you're going to do it, you don't do it on fucking national television or world
No, I don't know
television now.
how. I don't know how he puts up with her shit. Some of the stuff she said just straight up disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's anyway. What else we got?
Whoops. I don't know. I th- I could say probably there's two movies that I'd say are my top of all time. One's a comedy, one's an action.
Okay.
One, I don't know. My favorite action movie of all time is It Man. It Man 1 and 2.
Oh, those
I
are good
kind of
movies.
classify them as the same movie
Yeah,
because
those
I
are
can't pick
enjoyable.
between which one's better.
Okay.
They're so fucking good though. They're Chinese. They're all in Chinese. You're gonna have to watch with subs, but like they're so fucking good. Uh, Donnie Yen.
He was
Uh.
in Star Wars, Rogue
He
One.
was in Star Wars. He was the blind guy that said, "I
I'm
am
one
one with
with
Oh.
the
the
Force, and the
Yeah.
Force
Force.
is me."
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the main character. He was a huge Chinese actor, and then he is kind of blown up in our movies now. He's the main guy in it, and like they're
You're gonna
they're
see him
so
again in
fucking
John
good.
Wick 4.
Like yeah, look, I think they're on Netflix. It's called Ip Man, IP, and then Man, Ip Man.
Oh, I thought they were called IP Man. I know what movie you were
No,
talking about now.
yeah, the yeah, Ip Man.
Did it
The
really make
they
that big
act
of a difference, Q?
It did. I was like,
Oh
I don't know what
wow!
this is,
yes,
and I'm just listening.
it's not IP Man, it's Ip Man.
It's
The
Ip
actual
Man.
guy's name was Yip,
Oh.
but
Okay.
to Americanize it, they got rid of the Y and just call it Ip Man.
Wow. I feel like an idiot.
Have you seen him?
I think I've seen. I think my dad was watching the first one when I came over to his house and we watched some of it, or I watched
Oh,
some of it.
if you like kung fu movies, it's fucking amazing. There's a scene he like gets into it with all the other masters, and they're like, we don't recognize you as a master, and he's like, how about if I fight and beat you guys, then you recognize me as a master. So they set up this room, and they set up this tabletop that just sits on a base, but it's like loose, and they stand on the tabletop so it like wobbles around.
Yeah.
And then around the room they set up all these chairs upside down so their legs are facing up, so like if you fall off the table, you're gonna land like on a chair leg, like really weird and awkward, and it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. So like one by one, these masters like jump onto the table, and like they do this fighting scene on this moving wobbly table, and like dude, it's some of the most badass kung fu you'll see. And then you're like, it can't get better than that, and like they just keep adding onto it. Like it's some of the best kung fu you'll ever see. Like it's just badass.
There for a while, I was watching the kung fu movies and stuff, but that was years ago. But
Some of them are like super cheesy. That one's just like really cool. There's like a scene in the fish market. There's like a scene where in the very first one, the opening scene is this dude comes from out of town. He's like, "Who's your best master?" And everyone's like, "Ip Man, Ip Man." Like, so he goes to his house, and the guy's like having tea and hanging out with his wife and his son. And the dude's like, "Battle me right now." He's like, "No, not right now. I'm having tea." He's like, "Come on, battle me." And he's like, "All right." And like his wife just gives him like a look, and they go into the other room. And the guy, Ip Man starts fighting this guy in his house, and like they're fighting, and the guy keeps like accidentally kicking a vase or whatever, knocking shit over. And every time he does something, he's like, I'll pay, just fight." like, and like it gets to a point, Ip Man's not even doing anything. He's just like blocking everything. He's not interested at all. And his son comes riding into the room on a tricycle, and he says, "Mom says if you don't start fighting, so you stop breaking stuff, she's gonna be mad." And then he like rides back out of the room on his tricycle, and Ip Man's like, "Oh, all right." And then he just fucking kicks the guy's ass, like, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?" It, uh, it's insane. Yeah. Besides kung fu movie, my favorite movie of all time that I recommend to everyone, and it shocks me every time I find out somebody hasn't seen it. Coneheads. I think I've seen that more than anything in my life. And
I
every single time I watch it, I can't believe it's still makes me laugh. It's still I love it. It gets all the quotes stuck in my head again and I can't stop saying it for another month. Like
I haven't watched that movie in years.
at least you watched
Oh
it.
yeah, no. Well, that was well because that was all that kind of falls into like the same categories like the National Lampoons and stuff like that. They were all to me they were kind of all like lumped together.
Yeah,
Um,
like goofy fucking. Well,
yeah,
the Coneheads was like a skit on SNL
right.
first, like years ago.
Yep.
Then they made a full fucking movie from it.
I've forgotten about that. I hadn't seen that in years and years.
Yeah, I mean it's got fucking Phil Hartman, Sinbad, Adam Sandler's in it.
Yeah.
Of course, Dan Aykroyd. Everyone knows. Like it's so fucking funny. I don't know why it just tickles. It tickles the right parts of my brain. The stupid fucking humor and jokes that are in it.
That's
Like
an off the wall one to pick as one of your favorites.
I fucking love that movie. The humor is my perfect humor. Every single joke in that makes me laugh so fucking hard. Like they always talk about remaking it. I'm like, please don't.
No,
Every single joke you can make about a cone
I don't
and
think that.
aliens
I,
and
I think that's one of those movies that, in today's like social environment,
yeah,
I don't think you can do Coneheads.
no. Well, like the scene where he fucking chews on a condom and he's like chewing it like it's gum, and he's like blowing it up, and he offers Sinbad. He's like chewing gum, and he's like, "No, I'm okay, man." He's just like, "Okay," I'm just chewing it and blowing it up. Like all the Karens of the world today would fucking
Yeah,
freak out at that scene, and you see some dude in the theater blowing up a condom. Like,
yeah, that's another one that will is Blazing Saddles.
yeah, Blazing Saddle couldn't be done today either. No way.
I think my biggest irritation with Blazing Saddles when it comes because it would they would try to show it on regular television, which
Well,
means
then
you
they'd fucking bleep it and
well
hide half the good shit.
the one thing that got me was the scene where they're sitting around the campfire eating beans
Mm.
and they're just sitting there farting while they're eating beans. Like that's the whole shtick. And
Did they bleep that out?
yeah, if you watch the TV edited version of Blazing Saddles, it's just them sitting there eating beans.
Hmm.
Like they edited out the farting, and of course that just completely kills the whole scene.
Gene Wilder died?
Yeah,
Oh, wasn't that like? It was recent, right? Fairly recent, like 2 years ago or something, wasn't it?
No, he died in 2016.
Oh my god, was it
yeah,
2016?
he's been
Yeah,
dead for a little while.
I figured it was a while ago. I just couldn't remember when. Fuck, the
Oh my
original
god.
fucking Willy Wonka was so good. Like, oh my gosh.
That movie creeped me out in where they're going through the tunnel. Like that
I've heard
scene.
so many people say that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess I can see that because he actually creep out the people on
Yeah.
the show because they didn't tell any of them, so they're like genuine reactions.
That movie and another one that I just do not like and it just bothers me every time. The Nightmare Before Christmas movie.
I don't really like that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I get that one. I feel the same way. It weirds me out the whole time. It's
Yeah.
just I'm not into it.
And one that really, really bothered me when I was little, and to this day, I have no desire to watch it now. Was E.T. E.T.
Oh,
It
yeah.
scared the
I don't-
hell out
I-
of me when I was little,
It
and
didn't scare me. I just didn't like it.
I just
He looked fake and weird to me. I was like weirded out. I guess I wasn't scared. I was weirded out. The same thing as like Nightmare Before Christmas. Wasn't into it.
yeah.
The first time I watched ET, it was in like a big it was in a theater, right? But it wasn't like it was like one of those classical like stage theaters or whatever, and they had like a CRT TV on the stage, and we were watching it
What?
on the VHS
How does that work? In a theater?
in a theater. I don't remember why that was the case.
How close are you sitting?
Not very close at
That's the
all.
worst part. Is you're just sitting, basically listening to ET.
Did they sell you tickets?
I
So they
can't
sell
remember
you
if it was
tickets
like
and
a
you walk
summer.
in and it's like video day in class. They roll a
I don't
TV up to the
TV
remember
front.
if it
card in.
was summer camp or something, but like we were just it was yeah, it was just watching it on a CRT TV just on the middle of a stage inside a theater.
Hmm.
That movie just
Not even a big screen.
that movie creeped me out when I was little, and I have no desire to watch it ever since. Like, part of me is like, you should overcome your fear. No, no, I'm good. I have no desire to watch it at all.
Nah.
Yeah, I never liked that one. Um,
I'm trying to think of like some of those movies where like everyone has seen it and like I just haven't or wasn't into it.
um,
For me, for the
I know
longest
another
time was
controversial one. I
300.
never
wait,
liked the Indiana Jones films.
wait, hang on. You didn't like 300?
No, I didn't watch it for a very long
Oh,
time
okay.
because
Oh,
of like that kind of hype or whatever that was up there. I was just like, okay. And then like it was like 6 or 7 years later that I actually watched it, and I was like, that's all right.
oh,
That's one of those movies that if it pops up on like a recommended for you thing, like I'll watch like 300 and Gladiator is another one that I watch
yeah.
like that.
Well, Gladiator's really good.
Uh, but yeah,
Apparently
I
they're
remember
making a
300. I
sequel.
watched like 6 months before it came out because it was one of the first movies that I had like ever pirated, and it got leaked online like 6 months before it even actually released.
really,
I remember watching it a few times before it even released in theaters. Yeah,
I like that one. I like 300. Um,
Gladiator.
I liked the Gladiator's one of my favorites. Um, I've noticed that when I'm homesick and I don't feel good, I end up watching war movies. And
Hmm.
I don't know why it's just like the We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, or that's one of my favorites. Or I watched Saving Private Ryan.
Well, if I've seen We Were Soldiers.
It was really good. It's based in the early days of Vietnam, um, and it was basically one
I
of
don't
our
think I've
first.
seen it.
Yeah, it was based. It's a true story. It's based around our first like combat engagement with the Vietnamese in Vietnam, and it's it's really really good. There's the scene where they're delivering the notifications of death, and it just gets me every time because I couldn't
Mm.
imagine being in that time period, and
Yeah.
you know the there were so many people dying during that war. They were paying taxi drivers to deliver the Western Unions because they didn't have enough troops at home or like chaplains at home to go and visit the families. So they were just like, taxi guy shows up on your porch, hey, kid died. Like I couldn't
Mm.
imagine that.
That's yeah. That's. I would hate to fucking have to be the guy to do that. Yeah, this ain't my job. I
Yeah,
don't want to go
well,
tell
that's
some family that.
that's the scene. That's the scene in the movie. He's lost in the neighborhood, and he stops at a house to ask for directions, and the wife sees him pull up, and she knows that they're out delivering
Oh,
these letters.
messages.
Yeah, so she goes to the door thinking that her husband had been killed in Vietnam, so she's all distraught, and he's like, no, I need to know where this person lives, and she just freaks out on him like, how could you do that? Do you realize what you're doing? This was
Yeah, he's like, I'm asking for directions.
yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
yeah, and that's his whole thing is he's just like, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't ask for this job, and then it basically she kind of like befriends him, and he just, instead of him going, because they were delivering to the base where the families were living on base, and he ends up bringing the telegrams to her, and she goes out and delivers the telegrams to the other women, and that scene, I mean, that's the type of shit that was happening during that time period. But it was really good.
Mm.
It's more on the drama side of the war movie. It's less about the person getting their face blown off and burning up or whatever, and
Yeah.
more about the individual like people that were trying to survive the war.
Hmm.
But yeah, really really recommend it if you
I'll
like
watch it because yeah, I've never seen it.
yeah.
What was that movie
We
called?
It's called
were
We Were
soldiers.
Okay.
Mel
Um,
Gibson's in it or directed it?
I think both.
Was that before he started directing?
I don't know. I know he was in it. He's the main character. He plays.
We directed by Randall Wallace, so
Okay,
he's
so
just in it.
yeah.
Huh.
He might have
I'll have to
been.
watch it
Yeah, it's really good.
because
It's
I like war movies and shows too. Like
when it comes to war movies, I think that's easily in the top five of
yeah,
American war movies. It's
I
really
can't believe
really
I've
good.
never seen it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one.
Um,
Oh shit! Fuck! Just punching my monitor real
you
quick.
know, it will, and I think what I liked about it the most was when you think about like Vietnam War movies. You think of like Full Metal Jacket or Platoon or
Oh,
you
I
know
need to watch that again.
yeah,
Full fucking Metal Jacket.
but you think about those as like the later era of Vietnam where we're highly involved in and that side of it, whereas We Were Soldiers was the very very beginning, like the late 1950s early 1960s, before
Yeah,
before the peace love and not war movement really became a thing. um, so it was really good. It's great. It's a great
I'll have to
biopic, I
watch it
guess. Yeah,
next time I get a minute to
yeah.
watch something.
But no, I have not seen The Majestic. That's
Yeah, I was just trying to look it up. The
that one
Majestic.
just
I haven't
came out
even
just
heard of that.
recently.
Is it recently? The Majestic 2001. Yeah, pretty
Okay,
recently.
that's all right. Never mind. That's something I was thinking it was then.
Oh, is that Jim Carrey? Have I seen this? Jim- I feel like I've seen every Jim Carrey movie, but I don't think I've seen this. The Majestic, a 1951 blacklisted Hollywood writer, gets into a car accident, loses his memory, and settles down in a small town where he's mistaken for a long lost son. I don't think I've ever seen that. Is that kind of during the war times? Because it says 1951.
Yes, it's blacklisted in the early 1950s Red Scare, which would have been basically where everybody was worried about communism.
Hmm. Never seen that. Is that your favorite movie, Phil? It's a serious role. Jim Carrey's one of those that literally can do anything, but he got kind of typecast into the funny
The Ace
humor side of
Ventura,
things.
The Mask.
Yeah,
So
every time he does a serious one, he's so good in it. Like Man
yeah,
to the Moon was so good.
yeah,
Fucking
that was the Andy Kaufman one, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Man on the Moon. Sorry,
Man on
not
the
Man to the Moon.
right. I knew what one you were talking about.
Yeah, he played the shit out of that one.
Yeah,
Like
I think he did that one really, really, really well. Um, still,
no, he's a good actor. No, I've never seen that. I'll have to add that to my list too. The Majestic is on. I hate when it's not on anything. Then I gotta work hard to figure out how to watch it.
mm-hmm.
It's $3 on everything, but it's not free to watch on any streaming service.
All right,
Hmm.
mystery.
Hmm?
If you could recommend one movie, you got this person comes up to you and says, "I need to watch a movie," and you get um, no other description than that, other than, "Hey, pick a movie for me." What would be the like the number one movie that you would say, "Hey, you should watch this movie"?
Number one movie. I would probably have to go with. It's a movie called PK.
PK.
Okay.
It's a Bollywood movie actually,
All right.
and it's about an alien that makes their way to Earth, and they lose a particular item, because they're researching humans on Earth,
PK.
and on like a particular like, you know how you say, oh, only God can kind of like help you find this thing,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Somebody says that, and so he goes on a search to find God,
Hmm.
right? And so he kind of realizes that like like there's all sorts of different like religions and all that kind of stuff. So it's just this like this alien searching for God in on our Earth kind of thing. And I thought it was like I thought it was a really fun, interesting movie to watch.
PK
PK.
came out 2014. Says it's a comedy. It made a lot of money. Looks like it did well in the box office, but every Bollywood movie does.
Okay.
Huh? I'll
Yeah,
have to watch that
I
one.
heard about it on there was a AMC Movie Talk podcast that came up. I don't know if you ever heard of it, by John Campia, and like He
Uh-uh.
brought it up on that podcast,
Hmm. I'll have to
and I
watch it. I
checked it
like
out for
Bollywood
him.
movies.
I've started to watch them because there's just something different, because I only watch Western movies, so um, it's the only time that I can watch a musical and actually and not have a problem watching a musical.
Oh yeah, no, they do it pretty well.
I just that's something that's always bothered me is I don't like watching musicals
Yeah.
because for me like stuff gets stuck in my head really really easily. So if it's a musical, that song is now in my head for the next 3 months, and
Oh,
so it's just like I don't watch musicals because of that. But I
Yeah,
like
like RRR had that really unexpected musical in the
yeah,
middle of it, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
all
it's
right,
actually good."
yeah.
But
yeah, I think that's the very song that won the Golden Globe for
in RRR,
for music. Yeah. Um, let's see, Golden Globes 2023, right? Best soundtrack or best song or something. Golden Globe 2023. Hey, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Um, RRR. Yeah, RRR won best original song at the ceremony for the Golden Globes 2023.
Is that movie that recent?
but
RRR?
Yeah.
RRR
I
came
think it came
out
out 2022, didn't it?
2022,
Oh, I didn't
2021.
realize it was that recent.
It came out 2022.
Oh, it
No, it's
is.
very recent. I know it just blew up on Netflix. I think it's the fastest show in a month to reach the amount of like viewership hours it did.
That's got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no, RRR is something special.
It really is. I loved it. I mean, I sat and watched because it was a long movie too. It was like a 3-hour movie, and
I think it was. I think it was
it,
three
it was
hours.
a long movie, and I sat and watched the whole thing in one sitting and just I
It's
loved it
3 hours, 7 minutes.
because it was like
I,
me.
I loved every minute of every more. I'm like, there's no okay. That's the most ridiculous. There's no way it gets more ridiculous, and then it does, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep, yep. I thought it was great. It was easily one of my favorite movies I've watched in a long time.
Mm,
So
yeah. Welcome to the movie cast.
yeah, well, Mystery and I have been talking about doing a movie podcast episode for a couple of years
Yeah.
now. So this might be
Oh,
the
Yeah.
I love movies. It's fucking
maybe we should turn that into maybe once a month or something. We'll do like a because that doing it once a month would give me time to watch a couple of the movies that we're
oh
going to
yeah,
end up
and talk
talking
about them.
about.
Yeah. Well, we still got to talk about so many things. Our favorite actors and actresses,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
I've got some strong opinions on that.
who's your favorite actor?
Who's my favorite actor? Probably someone that nobody has ever said is my favorite actor. But I'll tell you, he's my favorite actor because I literally haven't seen a bad movie that he's in. Every movie he's in, I'm like fucking stunning. Miles Teller.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Miles Teller.
Hang on.
Everything
Yeah.
he's in is a fucking masterpiece.
Except Fantastic Four.
We don't talk about that one, but every other fucking movie.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm really bad. I'm really bad about.
I
naming
never
them.
watched it. I never watched it because I'm not super into like superheroes. It took
Ah.
me years to watch all the Avengers movies. I've never seen Iron Man or Thor or so I actually never watched Fantastic Four. I've heard it's not good.
It's not.
Oh
I,
man.
I might need to watch it just for Miles Teller, but
Did you ever watch Whiplash? You must have watched Whiplash.
yeah, Whiplash was the one that I was like, holy fuck, Miles Teller's a
Ah.
good actor.
Ah.
And then I watched
And
War
J.K.
Dogs.
Simmons can be quite scary in that movie too. Like,
Oh, he's
damn.
fucking. I swear he had to have actually hit him in some of those scenes.
I feel like he probably did because like he's terrifying in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. That's the perfect movie for like introduction to Miles Teller. If you're like I don't know who Miles Teller is, I don't know if I like him. Watch Whiplash or War Dogs. War Dogs is
I-
a fucking amazing
I
movie
really,
too.
really liked War Dogs. I watched it for the first time.
Was it that one's the one with Jonah Hill in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they play the two guys. It's based on a real story. The two guys that started buying up contracts for weapons and stuff from the government.
Because of that movie, because I just watched it maybe 6 or 8 months ago.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time. I'd never seen it.
Oh man, that's in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I fucking love War Dogs.
Well, I ended up after watching the movie, I ended up going that website that he references in the movie about the about
Oh yeah,
it still
I'm pretty sure it's
exists. I
still
mean,
up.
well, I
Yeah,
mean, it exists in it's not the same as it was back then, but there
well, it's
is
harder to get contracts now too.
yeah, but there is there's a website that you can just go and get government contracts for literally anything, and I ended up joining it, and I've because of that movie, I went to the website and I've joined it. I joined it's called sam.gov, and
You join the website. Do
yeah.
they give you notifications of new contracts or
Oh
something?
yeah, yeah. You can set it up for like we've gotten a couple of contracts through our office
Yeah.
through our company, and it was because I was like, let's check this out, and then there was fire extinguisher and smoke alarm contracts. It's most of it's really wild. A lot of it's just drop shipping. I've
Huh.
yeah. It was like, oh, they need 50 cases of smoke detectors to a military base in California. You know,
Done.
yeah, and I would just
Amazon.
yeah, I would call up our manufacturer and be like, "Hey, I need 50 cases of smoke detectors. What's the best price that you can give me?" And then go back, take the contract, bid on it, and get it, and do literally nothing other than make a couple of phone calls and two or three emails,
Yeah.
and
Make some money.
yeah, make like $3,000 or $4,000 just
Well,
for
that's how they started before
yeah.
they got a little carried away.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking about. I was like, well, I'm never
Yeah.
going to buy any gun contracts, but
Another one you need to watch if you haven't seen War Dogs.
yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was I had never I had seen it like advertised and I knew the concept,
Yeah.
um, but I just never watched it. And I think honestly, I watched it right after I watched Lord of War with Nicolas Cage,
Mm.
which is
War
another.
Dogs is way better.
It is way better, but I really like that story. Because his monologue where he's discussing the AK-47 is like the number one export from Russia. Because nobody's buying their cars. You know,
Yeah.
it was really good movie. But I liked War Dogs. I liked War Dogs, and
War Dogs is good. Uh, Bleed for this was really fucking good. That's another one that's based on a real story. The boxer that got in a car wreck and then was paralyzed, and they said would never walk again. And then he comes back to boxing. Miles Teller plays that. Another really good one, Only the Brave. That's another one that's based on a real life story of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, the entire fire brigade that got taken over by a wildfire. It's got Josh Brolin in it, who is Thanos. If nobody knows who Josh Brolin is by the name, he's the guy that plays Thanos.
I I watched Divergent because of the twins. They were big into that book series.
Miles, if
Yeah,
Miles
Is in
Teller
the
got a bigger role, it would have been
Divergent?
better.
yeah. I mean, I watched it because they were into it. And like they were watching that.
You saw him in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I
that
It was
movie
really
was
good.
huge when it came out.
I
A
thought
lot
it
of people
was
were talking about it. People are talking about Top Gun Maverick more than they're talking about Avatar 2.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, see that one. I know a bunch of people went and
Yeah.
saw it, and everyone was watching that, and it still made less money than that. I don't get how Avatar made the money.
I
Who the
think
fuck is watching it?
I think you might be right that there's some serious money laundering going on with
There's
James
something.
Cameron.
There's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
He found something at the bottom of the ocean. He's not telling us.
Yeah, when he was doing his research.
Because I mean, what it is so he's probably created another like business, and he's using that business to buy up all the movie tickets. Okay, well, buying up all the movie tickets, well, that's an expense. So
Hold on.
he can write that off as as a business expense. So he's got all these losses on buying the movie tickets, but then that money is going back into the theaters and like building up his gross. So it's just a money laundering at this point.
I want to see
I
something
believe
real
it.
quick. I'm gonna
Like
look Avatar. I'm going to my local theater. I want to see how
Yeah,
many
but
of these
also a
seats are.
lot of the screenings for Avatar are 3D, and also there are a couple screenings that are like high frame rate, well, which goes towards
Hmm.
money towards tickets. Like it costs a little bit more to watch a high frame rate version and a 3D.
Yeah, but that doesn't it doesn't cost 10 times more.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I can't imagine it being that much more. But
So there's a showing at the theater down the street from my house in 10 minutes. Out of the entire theater, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's only 13 seats that are filled. I mean, I
at
guess it is
11
pretty late on
o'clock,
a
yeah,
Sunday
no
night,
Sunday night.
but still, if it's making a 1.9 billion dollars, you'd think people are lining up to see it.
Well, do you remember when the first one came out?
Kinda.
Do you remember how big it was when it came out? Like a lot of
Well,
people were talking about it when it came
didn't
out.
they re-release it like a month after it left theaters? They brought it back.
They did, yeah. They did that same thing with Avengers Endgame as well.
They did that a
A
couple of
months
times
later.
with that movie, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like
and then they re-released it earlier this year,
Yeah.
or sorry, this past year in August.
in like to
Um,
build
Uh,
more hype up for the new movie.
Yeah.
And hasn't he
Rebel.
promised like 10 movies or something like that?
Well, he's already
5.
working on the third one, and he said he wants to do a 4 and a 5.
Yeah.
He said like a or like a week ago in a thing that, oh well, it passed 1.5 and we're making money, so I'm planning to do the fourth and fifth. And I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're planning? So the third was already a guarantee, but now that it passed 1.5, you're doing the fourth and fifth. Like that's fucking crazy. No, Rabbi, I've never seen Too Old to Die Young. I want to because it's Miles Teller.
I just I'm like you. I just have a hard time buying the amount of people that the amount of money that it's made. Just
It's just really suspicious. I don't know anybody that's seen it.
well, and the other thing too is, think about when did the first one come out? When it like
Oh, man,
2010?
it was like,
Yeah.
I think it was like 13
Well,
years
also
ago.
like
So
it didn't it only come out a month ago.
it came
It
out
would have to be
December. Yeah.
sold out everywhere every day for the whole month to make that much money. Like
Maybe the 1.9 billion, is that internationally,
It's worldwide.
worldwide? So I
yeah,
mean,
that's
maybe
total.
it's huge in other countries.
Maybe every other country's like fucking love that James Cameron dude, and here everyone's like,
Yeah,
we don't really like
yeah.
him here. But
I'd rather go watch Top Gun.
yeah, oh yeah, because Miles Teller.
All right,
That's why
just
I watch Top Gun. I don't like Tom Cruise and so fucking Scientology and bullshit. But
I,
if Miles
Yeah.
Teller's in,
I was so torn about that because I don't like Tom Cruise and I don't like his religion stuff. I don't like his politics. I just don't like him. And I was like, man, I'm gonna be giving money and supporting Tom Cruise. That kind of sucks.
oh, I didn't get money.
Oh, I know. I went to the movie.
I watched it for free.
Oh no. Me and Devin and Brandon. I think my dad went with us. We went and got it, watched it in like the IMAX. We didn't do 3D because I hate 3D movies. Um, but
It was
don't know.
converted into 3D.
I just remembered
Was it?
another one of my favorite movies.
what's that?
Well, I was thinking of I have three favorite actors that I watch almost everything they're in. Miles Teller, there's a couple things I haven't seen, like the show Rabble just mentioned, and I've never seen Fantastic Four. Fuck that show. But the other two actors that I fucking love, like, have like a fucking man crush on, Dylan O'Brien, who's fucking amazing, and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Dylan O'Brien is surprisingly. Yeah, I think he's in thing. Oh no, I'm missing him. Sorry, I'm mixing him up with
No,
Logan
Dylan
Lerman.
O'Brien's the guy that was in Maze
Logan
Runner.
Lerman was in Bullet Train. My bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think Dylan O'Brien was in that.
Oh yeah. Maze Runner was
I
another
mixed
one.
those two up.
Yeah,
It was
Dylan
Dylan.
O'Brien almost died on the set of the third Maze Runner. Like he got in a really bad fucking wreck on the scene where like the truck is driving next to the train. He had a really bad accident and like cracked his skull and like it put him out for months and months. And they
Holy
literally
shit.
had to halt the production on the movie for like a year because it took him a long time to come back. And then when he almost didn't want to come back to acting at all, and then what's his fucking name? Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton reached out to him and said, "Hey, you want to do this action movie with me?" And Dylan O'Brien was like, "Fucking action movie with Michael Keaton, absolutely." And so he did that movie, and then he came back to Maze Runner. Like, so the Maze Runner production was shut down for over a year.
See, I had to watch the Maze. It was Maze Runner, Divergent, and Hunger Games were all like really popular with the twins at like right during COVID.
I still haven't finished Hunger Games.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's a super political, book and movie and all that. Which, I mean, okay, that's cool. Um,
Which one is?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Oh, eh.
They
You
have like
know,
a
It
prequel coming out later this year or something like
no,
that.
that one.
really.
The first one was good, and then it
Something
just
about
got
the
worse and
Ballad of
worse.
Snake or Songbird or something.
Well, I think that that movie and Avatar as well, and a couple other movies is like they don't need a second movie. Like,
Yeah,
and once it's over with, like you get like it wraps up so well that it's like, okay, I get it. We don't really need more.
yeah. I wish that would happen more often, but they get too money hungry, and they no, we need to make another. It's like you don't have to for everything. It's okay.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we're hitting now 2 hours. I
Oh
think.
well, we
Whoa.
better wrap it up. Oh, my other favorite movie. It's Andrew Garfield. Uh, it
Hacksaw Ridge.
no, that's a really
Huh.
fucking good movie too.
Yeah.
I like Hacksaw Ridge.
No, it's
Was it the one that came out earlier this year? The singing one? Oh, I forgot what it's called.
no. I
Darn it.
tried to watch that because it's Andrew Garfield, but I couldn't finish it.
Oh, okay.
He played the character really well, but the character was just annoying to me. I was like, man, I fucking love you, Andrew, but like I just can't. No, it's a movie that came out. Let me look up when it came out. I think it came out like 8 years ago. It's called 99 Homes. It wasn't well known. I'm sure you guys haven't seen it. Michael Shannon was in it.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say yeah. Michael Shannon was in it.
Never seen it. Have you even heard of it, Q?
Nope. No, I was gonna let y'all talk about it.
Came out
Yeah, I've heard of
2015.
it. I haven't seen it.
Never seen
Yeah,
it.
it came out 2015, and like it's I I wouldn't say like everyone's gonna like it, but it really hit home for me. Some of the stuff I grew up with in my childhood. That I think we've talked about some stuff before, but it's so fucking good. Andrew plays the fucking shit out of it. The whole show. It's called 99 Homes. It's about and Michael Shannon plays a really good bad guy in it. It's like a real estate investor, that buys home in bulk. What's happening right now. Well, last year, now that is coming down, crumbling our economy, all these rich fucks buying all these homes up and just tossing people out. Yeah, it's and Andrew Garfield is like losing money, and like his home's about to be foreclosed on, and his son is all like, I don't want to go to a different school. What about my friends? And like they get kicked out of their house that they've had in their family for like 20 years, and they have to live in a hotel. And like Andrew Garfield's like fed up and fucking starts doing like all these odd jobs, and like he ends up working for that dude, the guy that plays like the main bad guy, that buying up all the homes. He ends up working for him, and that's like the whole point of the movie. Him working for him, and he starts doing shadier stuff and starts making like a lot of money, and then he gets super rich and he buys like a really nice house, and he's kind of torn because now he is the very thing that he hated at the beginning. And like it's a really good movie though. It's fucking
Oh,
fantastic.
Q. Laura Dern's in it too.
Oh, well then,
Yeah, Laura Dern's in it.
the longest neck in show business.
Yeah, she plays their mom,
All right.
or Andrew's mom. Yeah, it's good. It's fucking. It always makes me tear up, but I don't think it's because it's like a sad movie. I think it's just because it reminds me of shit. But really good movie. I think that's the movie that made me like fall in love with fucking Andrew Garfield and be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking watch everything this dude's in. He plays the shit out of it. But, anyways, yeah, we should do our cream of the weeks.
You want to go first? You want to go second?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a weird cream of the week because normally with my cream of the weeks, I try to do stuff that I can recommend to everyone, and I'm gonna do something that I don't know if I would recommend to everyone.
All right.
It's The Whale
Oh,
that
such a good movie.
that just came out. It's got Brendan Fraser in it. I fucking love Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, Heather and I need to watch that soon.
It's
Oh
got
man.
Sadie Sink in it, who's Max from Stranger Things. Most people recognize her more by that than her actual name, Sadie Sink, who plays his kind of a real jerk teenager daughter.
Daughter. Ty
But Brendan,
Simpkins is in it too,
yeah,
which
and I
which surprised
fucking
me. I didn't even recognize him when I saw him.
I know he looks the way
He
they
was the
did
little
his
boy
hair.
in Jurassic World 1.
Yeah.
Q.
I'm not that bad.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
He was like, "Wait a minute, there's a little boy in
Yeah,
Jurassic." Wait.
I'm getting like spoon fed over here. Like I'm
I'm
good.
just.
Jesus.
I also loved his like friend, the nurse lady, Liz.
Yeah,
She was really good in it. But
it's based on a play, like almost word for word, apparently.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
I haven't watched it yet. I intend to. Heather, Heather has been following the Brendan Fraser.
yeah,
She,
resurgence.
yeah, and she's been following it really closely, and she's like, "Ooh, let's watch it." I'm like, "Okay, whatever you
He
want to watch
he
it."
deserves everything, man. It's
Yeah.
so stupid how he got blacklisted from Hollywood because they don't want to admit that they're all sexual predators.
I will say that Heather was telling me about it today. She saw an interview with Harrison Ford, and
Oh yeah,
it was basically asked about continuing the Indiana Jones series, which he's been very adamant that like he doesn't want to do anymore. He's done.
Oh, the fifth one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he said that if they were to continue,
Dial of Destiny.
if they were going to continue doing Indiana Jones post this one, is he wants Brendan Fraser to basically reprise his role from the Mummy
Oh.
and do that
oh
going forward.
man, that would be amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Good.
I'm really happy for him. I mean, he deserves to come back.
He's such a nice guy.
He's
Like every time you
incredibly
see him,
nice.
every interview,
Yeah.
you're like, he looks so genuine and fucking.
I know that he's done conventions over the last few years and been like a special guest with doing photos and whatnot. And everyone that has their photo taken with him, like he takes a moment to talk to them and like genuinely seems to give a shit. And
Yeah.
so
No,
that's
he seems like one of the good ones.
yeah.
That
So he needs to be protected at all cost.
yeah, and he's fucking amazing in the whale.
Yeah,
Now,
I want
before
to. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, all I was going to say was I probably won't enjoy the movie because it doesn't seem like it's something that I would be interested in. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very deliberately paced movie. Very
Yeah.
slow.
but I'm going to watch it because of just the support of Brendan Fraser because he
Yeah.
deserves it, and that's
See,
literally
that's
it.
why I said it's a weird one from the cream of the week because I know it's not for everyone. I'm not saying it's the best film ever. And it's not even near what some of the films we already mentioned. But like just Brennan's fucking acting is like amazing. Even though it is him and you see him, you totally forget. You get completely
Yeah.
drawn into his character as Charlie, the giant, uh, the whale.
Cool.
Which also, after you watch it, you realize what it's called. The whale is not just because he's fat, but
There were other things when I was watching the movie. There were other things that like I saw like other little minute actions that he had done, facial expressions or just other things in general that I've seen in other people that are also obese,
yeah,
right? And I recognized that and I was like, oh my god, like my grandfather does that. What the heck,
yeah.
like you know? And I
Well,
was just
speaking of
like,
grandfather, I was so excited to see Brendan in the movie. I didn't even think about it, but it impacted me like really hard because my grandfather was like 380 pounds. He used like two canes for as long as I could possibly remember. He ended up in a wheelchair. He used a walker a lot. I lived with them, and my grandfather basically raised me, because of things. But he was the person that raised me and taught me so many things and made me the person I am today. And he passed away like 9 years ago, and I didn't even think about him when I went to go see it. I was like, I want to go see Brendan Fraser. I can't even fucking wait. The first ticket that I could get, I got, and I left work even early to go see it. And like the second it started, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble because that literally is my grandfather. That's He was that big. He struggled to get around. I would have to help him, get into his shower and sit on his little stool in his chair. I'd have to help him do the most basic things. Being that big, when you drop something, that now lives on the floor.
Yep.
I would be the one that would have to help him pick stuff up off the floor, and I didn't even think of it before I went and saw the movie. And then while I was watching the movie, like, I'm glad there was only like 3 or 4 people in the theater, even though I feel really bad for Brennan because I want it to be successful. But like, I probably cried for 40% of the fucking movie. Like, it just kept reminding me of my grandfather, like the most important person in my life, and like literally seeing him, like you were saying, the it reminded you of your grandfather. The actions and everything he was doing are literally
Yep.
how someone of that size, lives. And
Mm-hmm.
like, so for me, especially, and anyone else that can relate to it like that, it was especially tough to watch. So yeah, I was my eyes were stinging by the end of that one. It's already a sad movie and tough to watch. But like no, he puts his fucking heart into it. Brennan, perfect acting role. Like amazing. So yeah, that's my cream of the week. I don't know if it's for everyone, but if it's something you're interested in or you even just want to support Brendan, go see it right now in theaters. Buy a ticket and go see it. Don't wait for it's free. Wait to watch Avatar for free because fuck James Cameron. But yeah,
So, my cream of the week is I enjoyed watching a large corporation get their shit pushed in by their users and fan base. That's my cream of the week. Um,
What
so
was it,
in
Twitter or something?
well, no, well, close. Um, so in the nerd world, um, the company that owns Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
And the company that
doesn't
owns
Hasbro
Hasbro.
own Wizards of the Coast?
Yep, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, which
Okay.
produces Dungeons and Dragons. So there's been a huge dust up, and Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast has basically walked away, going, you know what, fuck it, it is what it is. Um, so what had happened is they were in the process. They wanted to change the way that third party content was made for D&D. Um, since 2000, there was this document called the OGL, which is the Open Gaming License, and it was basically saying that you have the rights to use the rules and the concepts um, of D&D of the D&D universe, and you can create your own content, you can create your own modules, you can create your own games, and everything you create is yours. They wanted, you didn't have to pay any royalties, you didn't have to pay any licensing rights. Um, that you just, it's yours to create whatever you want in perpetuity, and that was the big thing, was in perpetuity forever. Um, well, Wizards of the Coast decided that we're gonna put a limit on forever, and what they did is they put out a new contract that they sent out to all of their publishers, all of the big, the critical roles and those types of people, and lots and lots of different third party publishers, saying,
Yeah.
okay, we're changing the rules. You own your content, but so do we. That at any given time we can take your content and publish it and use it just as it was, official first, uh, Wizards of the Coast content, and we're not going to pay you for it. And if you don't like it, we don't really care. And you've got, the original intent was, we've made all these changes. We're gonna take over your content and cut you out, and you have 4 days. Here's the contract. Sign the contract. You have 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, the some of the employees for Wizards of the Coast leaked the document. The document was supposed to
Yeah.
have been signed by today.
Oopsie.
Yeah, the document was supposed to be signed by today, and it was supposed to have been released on January 10th, and it was released right before the new year, right around Christmas, that this was coming, and it was a huge dust up. A lot of the publishers are like, I've built my whole world around, creating uh, games for D&D. This is going to affect my livelihood, because they were like, not only were they going to take access to your content and say we own your content, we also want 75% of any of the money that you make off of this content.
I was 25%.
Yeah,
But over anything, if you make more than 750,000,
right.
then it was 25% of everything you make all
above that.
together, not just above that. It was all
Yep.
together.
Yep.
But they just wouldn't touch you until you made at least that much. But then once you make that much, all anything you make, they wanted 25%.
Yep. Yeah. And
And they owned it, and they could shut you down at any time and just decide, nah, you don't even get to make content anymore.
yep.
Yeah.
So there was a huge dust up about it. A lot of a number of big publishers, specifically like Kobold Press was one of the big ones, who they've made third party content for D&D for 10, 15 years. They're like, nope, fuck you, and they decided last week they gave up all of their work on work on D&D, and they're working on releasing their own gaming rule set. We're going to create our own game with blackjack and hookers. We're done. And it happened across everywhere. Like, I mean, everybody was talking about it. Wizards of the Coast runs a website for D&D called D&D Beyond. It's a great asset and tool if you're playing D&D for building character sheets and building monsters and having rules.
Yeah, but nobody uses it now.
Yeah. So it's a subscription based service, and there was this big movement to cancel your subscription. To that's the only way we're going to get our message through to Hasbro is we're going to hit them in the pocketbook. That's where it matters, and they did, and it made a huge difference. There was so many people that were leaving their subscription for D&D Beyond. They went in and changed the webpage to like hide the cancel your subscription button, to like buried it into like 3 or 4 menus to be able to find it. There were so many people that were just up and leaving D&D Beyond. So Hasbro has since come out and said, we're not going to make any changes yet. They're going to put on a 6-month wait before.
Yeah, they basically said we're going to rework it.
We're going to rework
That's
it.
it.
What I liked was the first thing that they said was, what got leaked. That was just a draft. That wasn't a contract. That was just a draft.
Sure.
And then everybody was like, well, how many times do you send a draft with a contract to sign? Because like here's our new rules, and here's the contract you have to agree with. But no. This was just a draft. It wasn't the final.
That was a
version.
practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
It was
Sure it was.
Yeah, if you're in the the tabletop role playing game kind of community, this was one of the hugest dust ups in years and years and years, and watching Hasbro hemorrhage money because of it, it warmed my heart. I just loved it. I had gone through and looked at stuff. It wasn't going to affect our games on Roll20. Roll20 had already had a separate contract signed.
What happened to their stock has done nothing but go up since December.
Who Hasbro's?
Yeah, what the fuck? I would love to see that the other way around. Maybe they weren't as affected by it directly.
Well, I think too is that they haven't seen the earnings reports or anything coming out about it yet either. So, I don't know how much money Hasbro makes off of Wizards of the Coast. It's not just D&D. They also own Magic the Gathering. So I mean they
probably make a shit ton off of that.
Yeah. So I don't know how much money they make off of that. I mean, how much of their stuff, I don't know. I don't even know, what I know Hasbro's a toy company, and I don't even know what they're doing in toys anymore.
I thought they just did like board games and stuff now. According to this report from 2022, Wizards of the Coast just barely exceeds $1 billion in revenue a year.
$1 billion. And that's and what gets me though is that's what they're making off of D&D. The amount of third-party content that exists out there for D&D, it's huge.
Unlimited stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much shit.
And I've never even messed with the third-party stuff because, I only have a couple of games to play, so I'm only working my way through the official stuff just because I know that content is available on like Roll20. Like I've never really investigated, third-party games because I know that there's third-party content on Roll20, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know Are they as thorough with their digital maps and stuff like that as the official content is? Like, I don't know. So I'm not willing to take that chance, and because you can't really see what you got until you buy it.
Oh, hang on. That doesn't make sense.
What?
Hold on. I gotta check that in another source. This thing that was saying that Wizards of the Coast is at 1 billion was putting Hasbro altogether at 2.1 billion.
So
So you're
half
telling me Wizards of the Coast is half of their?
half their revenue?
Let me double check that. No, that's
Wow.
not right.
Okay.
Google immediately said 5.1. There's no
Okay.
way that's right.
Well, that's still. I mean, that's 20% of their revenue. That's still a big number.
Yeah, it's not 50, but
It's not
yeah, it's still a
50,
big number.
but I mean, it's still a big number. But so yeah, that's my cream of the week. Just I've watched it. You know, it's
Seeing the big guys get fucking dunked on.
that and the memes that were coming out about it were just absolutely hilarious, and the number of people that I know that play D&D that were like tweeting out pictures of their canceled subscription screen or posting on Facebook about it. I got tagged in 10 or 15 posts about, oh, what are your thoughts on it? And I was kind of mean about it. I was like, um I love to see like the man get fucked. Like that's one of my favorite things in the world. But as
Somebody clip that.
yeah. Love to see the man get fucked. But as far as me as a gamer, it doesn't really change what or how I play.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't have changed anything with what.
No, because right before all this started last week, I started messing with D&D Beyond because I had been considering kind of migrating our groups over to D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
Just
but not now.
yeah. Well, and just because because there was these rumors going around at the time that the third party content was going to go away. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to affect Roll20, and am I going to be able to continue playing? And I was really going to be upset because I've probably got $100 invested in modules and whatnot, not including all the money I've paid in subscription prices to Roll20 for their content. So I was like, I guess I need to start thinking about it now, and in case I need to move us over really quickly to keep playing. But
Yeah.
I don't like D&D Beyond's.
I tried like their character creator thing, and like this,
Now-
it just sucked. I didn't like it.
Their character creator I really liked.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, making their character sheets I really really liked, and you could PDF them and then you could port them over to Roll20, and I liked that. But the way they did their modules and stuff, I didn't like it. So I was just like, well, we're just going to stay on Roll20. The only thing that I want to figure out long term is how to do the audio video side of Roll20 and not use Roll20.
Yeah.
It's just a constant battle of trying to get people signed on and get people to are they here, are they not here?
It used to work like flawlessly, but lately it's been
It's
nothing
gotten-
but problems like every time.
Yeah. So I want to get with MIstry sometime and kind of work
I
out.
feel like it'd be so much easier to just have us all do Discord. It's so
Well-
much more stable.
That's what when it comes to just us playing, that's what I want to do. I just want to use Discord because
Yeah. Have Roll20 be the map and the dice roller, and that's it.
yeah, that's what I want to do. But then what I want to try to figure out on the streaming side is how we can integrate, or if we want. I mean, I would like to integrate the video and stuff into it
What-
because
Even that would be easier to pull off a Discord than Roll20.
yeah. But I just
no, I don't
I
have
like
time.
with Roll20 where it's got all the video and stuff already inlaid in the bottom of Roll20, so I can see and talk, and I know that I'm animated and move around in my when I DM, so I like to talk with my hands, so that makes it better.
Was that the only concern for you to do Roll20?
What the video?
The video stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, because you just want to see it on stream, right?
Yeah. Well, and
Oh.
not just on stream, but I also want the players to be able to see it as well.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting
You
see
know what
'cause
we could even do?
because you
I was
basically
just think I was just thinking because you can even stream your. Well, we don't want to stream your screen through Discord.
right. So
I
we
don't know, I
would
have to look in. We'd have to think about it.
yeah. Those say that I want the two of you would be the most valuable in kind of coming up with how to do it, and how to make it look good. I mean, I wouldn't even be adverse to creating a new overlay for my stuff. I mean, I don't know how Mystery wants to do his, um, but to be able to kind of incorporate everything together, um,
Yeah.
because I want to. I mean, if I can't use the video, okay, fine. We'll live.
Can you? Well, I don't know if you can do that. That'd be a pain. Could you have two separate uh, roll 20s up? One of you is the DM and one of you is a player.
No, OBS doesn't like that. It only wants to stream the screen that you have active at the time. If you
Mm.
because what I have to do the screen capture and streaming on OBS
Yeah,
is
you'd have to have a second monitor or something.
yeah
I think he only has the one monitor.
yeah I think I mean now that's coming and that's going to be the goal in the next couple of weeks is to get that part set up. But I feel like to me I feel like there's got to be an easier way. You know, and even running two screens would
I'll have to
be
look it up. I'm sure somebody's done it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way.
So maybe
Roll 20 just it's nice having the map and the integration and the little having the little icons and like
yeah.
all that's great. It's just yeah, their voice and their video and all that is just really garbage.
Yeah. I mean, if in the short term, I'm not adverse to just going to audio through Discord because that's not hard to integrate into a stream. It's what we're doing here, you know. So I mean, I would be okay with that, but
Yeah. Well, and you can turn on the overlay for Discord too, so at the very least when we talk, our icon will pop up so you know who's talking.
yes, to an extent. My only problem with that is there's some people that have in various games. They have a lot of mic issues, and their mic is constantly open.
Oh, so it's just up
Yeah.
the entire time? Yeah.
So that's another issue that I have to address going forward, and I don't know how to address that issue. Um, But
I don't know. We'll have to think about it,
yeah,
figure it out.
yeah, maybe if you guys can kind of help me ponder what would be the best way to approach that, you know, like I said, worst case scenario is, we just have audio, which is fine, you know. I would like I do like the idea of putting just having one video screen in the overlay and it be whoever's actively talking is getting, will get shown. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Observer.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that in you guys' hands. But speaking of D&D, I don't know if I'm going to stream next Wednesday's game or not. Because it's going to be the session 0 for
Why not?
for our new game that we're going to be running on Wednesdays.
We should stream it. Maybe they'll have some ideas too, because we'll be talking about ideas and whatnot.
Yep. Descent into
What is this?
Descent into Avernus.
Oh.
It is described as Dante's Inferno meets Mad Max.
Oh.
So I'm really, really excited. Players will descend into the first level of hell in trying to save the city of Elburus. Really, really.
Elbaros. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. It is. What's the name of this place? Come on, you can't believe the name is just not right here in front of me. But it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and I came across this. I came across this module, and I was like, you know what? We're going to give it a try. So, the premise of it is there is a city that I can't find the name. It's Elburnus, or something like that. Has the mayor of that, or essentially the mayor, the leader of that city has made a deal with some evil entities, some devil entities, and for protection from other demon entities, he had to trade. He didn't realize he was agreeing to this, but he was given the ability to defend the city from these demons. But in payment, the city is in the process of being dragged into hell, and the adventurers are being recruited to brought in to help save the city from its descent into Avernus, which Avernus is the name of the first level of hell. It's hell, devil, desert landscape, hell landscape type setting. So, really, really excited. The more I've read it, the more I really, really enjoy and looking forward to doing this one. So, that's going to be our Wednesday game, and then we are approaching finishing up our Thursday game. We're really, really close.
Yeah. I'm surprised actually.
Yeah,
Apparently we are.
yeah, it's just a matter of a couple of sessions, and then we're going to be done.
Oh, a couple of sessions.
I mean, maybe less. I mean, it just depends.
Less. Oh God.
I mean, it. Excuse me. It just kind of depends on how long the combat goes. I mean, we're in essentially the final.
The final battle,
Yeah,
which again, I never believed that was the final battle.
Well, there's like stages of the final battle. I guess it's a good way of putting it. It's like there's combat, there's some role play, there's some combat, and we're still working our way through the combat side.
Oh, okay.
But it could it could end in the first phase of combat. It's not that
I mean, it's looking like
it
that.
could. Well, and that's another conversation that I want to have with the players is if it does end up that way, if the party ends up losing to Strahd here in the end, do you guys want to try a redo on it and get the first party I ran through got TPK'd pretty early in the combat, and I was like, hey, you guys want to, now that you know what you need to do, you want to try again. And,
I see.
Yeah, so we did like a respawn from a save point.
Revert to checkpoint.
Yeah, it's essentially what it was. It's like as the players were like the first interaction with Strahd, we went back to that, and like okay, and it was the same problem you guys had. It was you.
Out of curiosity, did that session have somebody that was like me that was very very new to it, or
Everybody
did
was.
they have, all of the entire Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oreo had never played D&D.
Oh wow, okay.
When was this?
When you did Curse of Strahd.
The Curse of Strahd.
Oh, well, yeah, and then I played an NPC, and I never played it all before.
Yeah. I brought him in as an NPC character late.
Wow.
Because in their game, they were given a NPC that was going to be like their helper through the game, and I realized that I'm really bad at keeping up with NPCs. So I went to Oreo and was like, hey, this character's already pre-made. He doesn't level. He's going to be the same all the way through the game. Would you be willing to play him? And this would be kind of your intro into D&D. And
That's actually a really good idea.
yeah, so he came in and helped me finich that. And because I gave him the character's backstory and the character's motivation as to why he's there. And this ends justify the means for you. You're rescuing your sister who is now passed, and you have to resurrect her. So
an NPC that you would have had to play that followed the party anyways.
exactly. So
what's the reason you want to use Roll20? Would we be using it just for the map and the dice rolling? Because I just found something. So a fan, not D&D Beyond officially, but now they support it officially. There's a Discord bot that literally connects to D&D Beyond. It'll upload your character sheets, and you can do rolls and like stats and like everything inside of Discord. And the bot tracks and does everything inside of Discord chat. But the only thing you'd be missing is your maps and stuff. But are those on Roll20?
Yes. Yeah. what I pay, because I pay for the modules through Roll20, and I'm essentially
Okay.
buying the game twice because I buy the hard copy that
Yeah,
I
and then you buy
use,
the modules.
and then I buy the modules because it comes with, number one, it does come with all the rules, but I like having the physical copy, so I don't mind paying twice. But it also comes with all the maps broken down into their own separate pages, and the big thing is all the characters. All their
Yeah.
character sheets are right there within a click of a button, easily searchable. Or if I need to create a custom encounter, I have a custom encounter screen with other people. Um,
Well, there's a lot of people that also say they just use Discord just for voice,
yeah, and that's,
which
yeah.
that sounds like it might be our best bet.
I think so too. I think when we start the when we start both games, um, when we start in actually here's the solution. I got it figured out. So in Roll20, you can the setting for audio video is you can broadcast your audio, you can broadcast your video, you can contact or broadcast both, or you can broadcast none. Now what we could do is we could have the Roll20 broadcasting in the video, but still having our audio coming through Discord. So
Yeah.
if the video drops out, the video drops out. Who gives a shit? There might be a little bit of a delay between the audio in Discord and the video in Roll20 syncing.
Yeah.
But
Some people might not
That
be
would
able
be
to
a little
figure
bit
that
of a-
out, but you
yeah,
can
that
also
would be
just mute
nice.
everyone on Roll20
yeah, well, yeah,
and just if they have video, they have video. If they don't,
yeah,
they don't. I guess.
yeah, and that's what I think that's what I may do, because it's just a matter of going and setting the setting, because there's a setting for video and what would you
Yeah.
like to do, and then there's a setting for audio, what would you like to do.
So then all you would need to do is pull
The audio from
from
I was gonna say,
Discord.
audio and video may not sync up,
Yeah,
but
there would be quite a bit of troubleshooting in regards
You
to
know,
that
so
if
that-
something goes wrong.
yeah, so well, I'd be a matter of like, I don't care if it syncs up or not. Maybe like it depends on how bad the sync is. Like if it's just,
See, but I would.
well, yeah. Well, I'm saying if it's like a half a second, they wouldn't be that bad. But then
Yeah.
but then on the other hand, if we're talking 2 or 3 seconds, then no. But
Yeah.
then again, coming back to the other side,
We could also do video and voice through Discord
yeah,
and just have everyone play through the map.
yeah. That's I mean,
Because Discord, you can run off of literally anything.
right. And I think we may just do that, and I won't be physically watching Discord that much because I'll be more in the map,
Yeah.
which
well,
is fine.
we use the Roll20 chat and everything,
Yeah.
and roll, and we'll do everything in there.
And I think it would make it easier to create. It would make things easier to create overlays and whatnot, and make the streams look cleaner, because you wouldn't be showing you wouldn't need to show the chats or anything else. You could just show the window, and that'd be
Yeah.
it. So maybe we'll do that. We'll
Oh.
I
The
will-
hardest part is the video. If you want the video of the players,
yeah.
where do you put that, and how do you make that look clean? Because the problem is on Roll20, it looks garbage.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make that look clean, especially with
Yeah.
showing the map.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's almost better to have it in Discord, but then again, we're not going to have everyone that knows how to run video through Discord, or even have the proper devices to run video through Discord.
yeah.
So maybe we only have a few people that have video, and we just throw like a little overlay, and you could do that in OBS and just put the few people that have video, just put them anywhere on the screen,
Yeah.
and that way your Roll20 map stays clean. There's no video, there's no characters or anything. It's just the map.
Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's the window, I would have to do a smaller window, and that's a thought too. But like I said, that's going to change. I'm going to make some big upgrades, especially with tax season coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh God.
Yeah. I'm excited that I'll be able to. I mean, I didn't make enough for it to matter, but I'll be getting a 1099 from Twitch. I'm kind of excited about that. So.
They're still sending you one? Yeah, you don't.
I mean, I guess I
enough
get-
to even
yeah.
file it.
Yeah, I don't have to file it, but they'll still send
When
it
you
to me.
hit, what is it? When you hit 600 or something now?
I think that threshold. I think
Is
it's
it 400?
I think it's $1,000 now. I'm not
Oh.
sure. I know it's changed. but
I think it was 600. I think
yeah,
you
it
may
was
be right.
600.
Though.
But yeah, I will probably download the W-2 or the 1099, and then I'll probably frame it.
Hmm.
Because it is pretty cool. But
Yeah, that is way cool.
yeah,
Man, this Discord bot looks really cool, but also looks really complicated. There's no way we're gonna use this fucking thing.
yeah, that's the thing is that's the other thing is I try to keep it as streamlined as possible and easy as
Yeah,
possible.
this would be great because like like commands you can type to pull up your stats and all this, but like we could also just do that on Roll20. We already know where all that shit is, where to
Right.
click and where on the character sheet.
Yeah, and that's another
I don't.
reason why I didn't want to migrate away from Roll20 is
Yeah, we already know where it all is. So I don't want to
I
relearn
finally
a whole new thing.
I finally got everybody trained in how to do the basics of Roll20.
Yeah,
You
no, I
know,
think that might be our best bet. Let's
okay,
have your Roll20 screen, and we'll just keep that as clean as possible. We'll just have everyone do audio through Discord, and if you can do video, possibly we'll do video,
okay, I like it. So yeah,
and then we'll figure out how big or small or whatever to make people.
so let's plan on Wednesday. Um, I'll do a
Try
stream
to
on
get everyone to
yeah.
we'll try to get everyone to figure out Discord.
Yep, and then we'll do a character building a character building, and setting up the Roll20 character sheets because I always end up helping people set their stuff up.
Yeah,
And we'll do that.
Sorry.
No, and it's everybody. Like, and it's not just and not because not just they're, they're new. I've learned here just this year or this last year, new settings and stuff for Roll20 that makes things easier. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still learning stuff.
Okay.
So it's not that's not a derogatory or dig at you or anyone else. It's I feel like every time I play a session, not a session, but a
Story.
game, yeah, a module, I learn something new about Roll20.
Yeah.
I love
Plus,
that.
they're also constantly making updates. I noticed that this time in the character sheets, there's like a long break and a short break button.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They're
I looked because I was curious. They have 78 employees, and they make 11.5 million a year. Roll20.
I mean, I know a lot of DMs that use Roll20, and they saw a huge uptick during COVID, and because
Yeah,
there was
well,
a
I
lot
guess
of
they were
people.
all at home.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of people move their games online because of COVID, and I've always just stayed here because I can't get enough people together on a regular, consistent basis to play in person.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of the people that I game with are local, they're still
It's still
45.
easier online. Yeah.
They're still 45 minutes to an hour drive away just to come. So if we're going to play for 4 or 5 hours, they've got to factor in a 2-hour round trip. So it's just Roll20 is just so much more convenient. So I'm going to continue using it, and let's try Discord and see how it works.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better.
I also had another idea. Well, we'll figure it out. I'm wondering if I could. We'll figure it out and think about it. I think Discord will be easier though. Discord's literally on everything now. They can go on their
Yeah.
Xbox, their phone, their
That was-
computer.
See, we tried Discord in the early days of doing our games, and Discord wasn't there yet.
Yeah, it wasn't as user friendly, and it was more technical, and it had more problems too.
Yeah, and I didn't like the way their audio worked because they had the audio pickups were there was like a short little delay before it registered that you were talking, so it would like clip that little beginning of whatever you were saying. The same issue that we had when we were doing the podcast through here, in the early days. It just didn't work. So Discord is now the greatest, and I think we'll just sort of stay in Discord.
Yeah,
So
I mean, at the very least, even if we just had you webcam and then Roll20 screen,
yeah, that would be fine.
because it's mostly for viewers. We're not watching your
Yeah,
thing, so whatever looks good to them. I mean,
Right.
I'm sure they'd like to see some of us,
yeah, I think so.
or maybe not.
So we'll put a pin in that. Mystery, do you have a cream of the week?
Yeah, I actually do have a cream of the week.
All right.
And it has something to do with the game that you guys have constantly been shitting on.
Oh, are you gonna bring it? We almost made it an entire
Destiny?
episode. Almost made it an entire.
Call of Duty?
Almost. Almost, but it actually MCC. It has something to do with MCC.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Um,
That's better than Infinite.
that's better than the
no,
game
yeah,
that
it
shall
has
not be
nothing to do
named.
with it. It does not. It does not have anything to do with that. But I've been gifted Halo MCC on PC thanks to Rabble over Christmas.
Shout out.
And
Nice.
yeah, and I've been lucky enough to actually jump into some modded stuff in regards to Halo
Oh,
MCC. They have something called Ultimate Firefight Sand Trap from in Halo 3. And essentially, they have assets from Halo 2 Anniversary and all this stuff, and it's in a firefight mode on Sand Trap, where you get to fight bosses like Tartarus from Halo 2 and all that kind of stuff on a wave for wave basis.
That would be
You're
fun.
also you're also able to like unlock the extra rewards and all that kind of stuff that you can kind of like use in your firefight matches. And then you're also able to have AI Spartans with you and like AI ODSTs and Marines and AI elites fighting alongside you and all that stuff. So they even like modded in some other new like weapons of their own that they created and all that stuff. And it's really neat.
Have you
Um,
done any streaming with it?
I haven't done any streaming of it. I just played it last night with Rabble, and I actually played with Zansulu last night as well.
What?
I know, right? It's kind of insane, and like we were having a blast. It was just good fun. Like it was pure chaos, of course, in Sandtrap, but like it was good fun that we were having for sure. I feel like you'd very much enjoy it. I'm not sure about you, Ori. I know you're pretty competitive sometimes, but I know you can have a little bit of like the fun moments like that.
I used to play
Um,
nothing but like Forge maps and stuff. That's like
Yeah.
yeah,
all we
okay.
ever played.
There are weapons from Halo 1s to Halo 5 as well, like the saw is in there, and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool.
That's really
And
cool.
then and then another one that I downloaded recently is like it's not exactly a revamp, but it's a modified version of Halo CE's campaign, right? So they've changed things in the Halo CE campaign where like for example, the very first time you come across the jackals in the Halo CE campaign is in the second level, right? On the Pillar of Autumn, when you're playing that first level, they have jackals in there, right? And like needlers and all that stuff that show up. Not just that, like there are things that happen like when the elites attack for the first time and you're just doing the training and all that stuff, right? You know how like they fire at the Marines, right? They break the glass when they blow up the doors, right? And like there's all these
Nice.
like neat little different additions. Like you can see Fire Team Raven from like, the Halo game at the arcades. Like they come you can see them at some point in the mission and all that kind of stuff. So like there's some pretty cool stuff that some of the modders are making in regards to Halo MCC modding, and I think it might be worth checking out if you guys are a Halo fan. It definitely made it fun for me last night
Sounds
when
kind
I
of
was
cool.
playing.
I'm always worried about stuff like that. 343 just shutting down, like when Halo Online came out. Yeah. Even though I
You,
guess that's a different thing, just mods. That was an entirely a game by itself.
Yeah, so like on Steam you can launch it as the regular game and then you also have like a anti-cheat version or whatever. So then you can do the mods.
Hmm.
So you can launch it as that and then like you can be fine doing it that way. Um but yeah, no, something
Oops.
worth definitely worth checking out.
So I fixed the I think I fixed
What?
the chat.
You fixed the chat.
Fix the chat.
I think I did. And on
What?
Twitch. Let's see if it.
We're at the
Chat
very
test.
end.
Chat test. One,
We're
two.
at the very end of the show.
Yeah, I'm afraid is that I did. I was just going back and was playing with it while y'all were talking, and I still know it's not right yet.
No, didn't work.
Nope, still working on
Yeah.
it. I got it to
No, we're
show.
definitely not using the Discord bot. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I see what I did wrong. All right.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cream of the week would be the mods that are coming out for Halo MCC lately. That it has been really fun to play.
Nice.
Give it a shot.
Damn it. I bet I fixed it this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I fixed
We'll
it.
see.
Yep.
Did you?
Yep, it's fixed.
Oh.
I had the opaqueness set to like it was it must have been defaulted. Um, it was set to be completely opaque.
Oh.
But it seems
Maybe it's working out. Well, now it's working now that we don't need it. Oh well.
yep. There we go. Well, I mean, one step at a time.
Yeah,
So
we'll figure it out.
yeah,
All right.
and now that we won't need it for another month before we do another. We will try to do that. We'll do a once a month. We'll do a movie cast with Mystery.
Yeah, we can talk about
Pretty
new
cool.
shows or whatever. We can talk about House of Dragon.
I still need to watch that.
It don't.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
want. I mean, I
won't be
want
watching
to.
that until it's done.
Yeah, well, that's.
The whole show.
I will say that I did. I did watch Andor over the weekend.
Oh, you find
Ooh.
it? Did you watch all of it?
Yeah, I binged it all in 2 days. I watched
I've heard
it
it's
all.
like a slow. It's so slow, and then it just keeps building and keeps building and keeps building and building, and then it ends with some of the best Star Wars shit ever seen. That's I've heard that from several different
Really?
people.
That's pretty
I haven't
accurate.
watched it, though.
That's pretty accurate. I'm really really glad I waited to binge everything all in one shot.
Yeah,
Because
if that's how it is, that makes more sense because then you're not waiting.
yeah,
Man, that was slow.
It was
Next
an
episode, a little
incredibly
better.
slow. Like it was watching. It was like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
And then I mean it was good. The end of it was really really good, and um, you get to see like super political Star Wars,
Ooh.
which I mean Star Wars.
Disney allowed that?
Well, I
They're letting
mean
Dave Filoni do whatever the fuck he wants. I
original
guess.
original Star Wars was a commentary on capitalism and fascism, and I mean it was what it was.
Yeah, but
Um,
under Disney,
but yeah.
under the mouse, they don't allow that shit. Have you not seen South Park where the mouse literally threatens and kills people?
Well, with that, hey, there we go. It's working now. With
I
that,
mean, we love our Disney overlords.
yeah, we
just in
love
case they're
Disney. But it was really good. I actually really liked it. If you're gonna watch it, plan to watch it as binge as you can, so you don't
okay.
so you don't like rip your face off because it's so slow.
Alright.
Um,
Maybe we'll talk about that on our next
yeah,
mystery movie reviews
I
or
get myself
movie.
through Clone Wars right now, so.
Clone
Whatever.
Wars is fun though. I mean,
I'm
it-
on season 1 right now. I think.
season 1 and season 2
I
were
want to say
cre-
halfway through season 1.
they were created in the under the understanding that you probably weren't going to do anymore. So there wasn't a lot of like huge story arc and character development in like the first two seasons. So you have to slog through seasons 1 and 2. There's just
I have to slog through it.
you
Okay.
have to slog through it. And
Alright.
then in season 3 it pops off and it's really really good. And then
All right.
you watch it all the way to season 6, and then you watch Rebels, and then you come back and watch the final season of Clone Wars. And,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
And then you watch the final season of Clone Wars, and the last 2 episodes were the most rip your heart out Star Wars content. Like it was so emotional until we got to see the Kenobi series, and then you're like, oh no, way more emotional. But well, in Clone Wars was like the first time we got to see Order 66 from another perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like Star Wars just they cram that down your throat because then you get like Rebels does it, and then Bad Batch has done it, and Kenobi has done it. Like you still continue to, or then the Mando has done their. So you see Order 66 from all these different perspectives. So it's like the fans are like reliving PTSD because they're just constantly having to watch this emotional event. But Mando season 3 starts 1st of March. So you got that to look
Oh,
for.
I thought it was later in the
Yeah,
year.
it's coming up. It's either the 1st of March. I think it's 1st of March.
I thought it was December.
I think they moved it up because I think they're doing what's they have another plan for later in the year. Something else.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka. That's it. I
Yep.
remembered it started with an A, and I could like see the logo in my head.
Yep. First episode drops March 1st, 2023.
Oh, I don't have to wait that long
Yeah,
to watch.
and then
Yeah.
like I said,
We can talk about that on movie mysteries.
yeah. There is no official release date for Ahsoka at the moment. It's expected the show will debut in 2023, with rumors suggesting late 2023, as Mando Season 3 will be taking up the early slot
for Star Wars content on Disney Plus.
Oh,
Okay,
I thought they already
cool.
confirmed it for like
I thought there
early
was too.
December. Maybe not.
I figure we'll probably see it in September.
I'll call Dave.
Yeah.
He's busy right now. I don't want to
It's
bother
like,
him, but
you're like, hey,
I'll
Pig's
call him
Pod's
later.
on the phone. We need to talk to Dave, and they're like, oh man,
No,
Pig's Pod, we got you.
he
Boom,
sees that
I'm
pig
on.
pop up. He picks
Yeah,
up
they know.
immediately.
They know.
If I had anybody's phone number, it'd definitely be John Favreau. Nothing against Dave, but I fucking love John Favreau.
What's
Speaking of movie reviews, so we got to talk about John Favreau, but we'll do that on the next movie mysteries.
cool. Yeah, Pig's Pod movie mysteries. I think that's what we should call it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Movie mysteries.
Or mysteries movies. I like movie mysteries better.
Yeah. I tried the other way in my head. It doesn't sound
Yeah, I
as
don't like it. Well,
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mystery, for hanging out with us for a couple hours.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. I
Is
really
there-
appreciate
It feels like we've done an episode before, but Mysteries keeps saying we haven't. So I don't know. We're 91 episodes in.
Well, how long have
We've
we?
never done
We
one.
have definitely done an episode before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we've done at least one. You've been. I know you've
I
been.
want
on-
to say. I want to say there's been two.
Yeah.
Give or take.
He's at least done a couple. I know I've done at least two with Bunge, just me and Bunge.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time that all three of us have done an episode together.
No, I
Because
don't.
I
don't
can't
know.
remember. Because I know that I know Bunge has been on here a couple of times, but it's when I was
Normally when you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't. Remember.
I swear we did one, but like a long time ago, and Mystery didn't really say much.
Oh, we can't have that.
That's it. Here they're here. Episode 56, Murder Mystery, eh? That was
so-
August 7th of 2019.
Okay,
Oh,
that was
shoot.
at least
There you
4
go.
years ago.
There you
Shoot,
go.
I was gonna name the freaking episode that. Dang it.
Ah,
Damn,
darn.
We already used it.
Ah.
This is episode
Whoops.
91. Is that right?
91, I think.
Yep. So we are 9 more episodes away from 100. It was
Is it
supposed to.
91 or 90?
No, it's 91. 90 hasn't been released yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because that
90
was-
was last. It was things happened.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was
I can't
lots
see.
of technical issues.
I was like,
Yeah.
89
Craig-
glitch, please.
Craig-
I remember hearing that one.
Craig was on a smoke break, and
He was gone for like half the episode.
Oh, no.
They're like, "Oh, we haven't been recording." So what I've done is I had to download
The stream?
the stream from Twitch,
Okay.
and now I need to upload it to probably Google Drive and send you the link to it so you'll have it,
we'll figure it out.
and then you
Whatever.
can pull the audio off of it if that's what you want to do.
We'll figure it out. It's fine.
So, anyway, let's
yeah. Anyway,
let's wrap it up.
I feel like that's good. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Mystery. We love, the Canadian input. I feel like we have more Canadian guests than anything.
I think we do. I think we really do. So,
Speaking
I
of
appreciate
foreigners,
you guys having me.
I'm definitely gonna have like I'm gonna pick some foreign shows and TV and movies and stuff to talk about for our murder mysteries or mystery movie mysteries.
when we decide to set a date and when we're going to do this again, let me know so I can watch and catch up. Because I need like a month of a head start to be able to catch up. Well, it's going to work out good though. The wife is almost done with her master's class, so she'll be done with that. So we'll have more time to sit and watch movies together. Because I don't watch
good.
new stuff without her because
Yeah.
that's no fun.
Well, and the second you do and you thought it was okay, then they're like, I wanted to
I
watch
wanted to
that
watch
one.
that with you.
You're like,
That.
damn it!
So
Every time.
cool. All right.
All right. Yeah. Other than
I
that,
don't have a significant other, and I know that.
yeah, you knew you know.
All right. Well,
That's how serious it is. You don't even need one to know.
all right. Well, thank you, Mystery.
Yeah. Thanks, Philk and Rabble and
Everybody that hung out.
everybody hanging out, and thanks, Mystery. We'll miss you for a month. Fuck you, Rob.
Fuck
All
you,
right.
Rob.
Bye, Q.
Bye, Oreo. Bye, Mystery.
Bye, Mystery.
Bye, guys.